Welcome, everyone, to episode 20 of Kanpai Cast. It is actually the first episode of the new year. I hope you are all excited for a wonderful new year of anime. Although we're still talking about last year's anime, aren't we? Technically, this is fall 2021 that we're talking about. The year just can't let us go.
Autumn,
yes, sorry, autumn 2021. And I am joined by, of course...
slide, like being nice New Year, but no.
I hit the wrong button.
Who brings the hammer of Fist of Justice back into play? I am
Xeno!
Yeah, Xeno.
God.
I'm just so mean like that.
Xeno.
Good
Can't
that
believe
Loz
you
is
did
keeping me in
that.
check.
Did it?
Good that Loz is keeping me in check.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year! So, for a little bit of housekeeping before we actually get into our topic this week, if you are a supporter watching this on Early Access, the timestamps may not be ready yet, but for everyone watching at the normal time, you can navigate to any section you want using the timestamp or chapter features. And of course, if you want that Early Access, you need to join Xeno or my Patreon at probably Xeno's. Let's face it, go to Xeno's.
Why? Because you don't want to bother handing it out?
No, I don't mind. I honestly wouldn't.
Throwing shade here.
Yeah,
Throwing shade here.
Yeah, I'm the worst. And we've also got a little bit of anime news this week. I don't know how many people will know what this is. I actually had to ask Xeno. But there is a guy, so Rumiko Takahashi, who apparently made Ramen 1/2, you said?
The author to... So, yeah, he made Ranma 1/2 as well as this show. Yeah,
so this new manga is... Urusei...
No, this is old. This is really
sorry,
old.
it's an old manga. Urusei Yatsura, but it's going to read... Urusei, sorry. Will receive a TV adaptation airing in 2022 on Noitamina? I butchered that. Look, we'll put the link to the tweet in the description. You can go check it out yourself.
Cool.
And I think that's it for news and housekeeping this week. So, you guys have anything else to add before we get into it?
Not really. Actually, just to say, there are going to be some shows that we will not talk about during this review of Autumn 2021. We're not going to be talking about Demon Slayer, and I think there's a couple of others, but mostly because they're still airing, or alternatively, we flat out dropped them so hard that there's nothing to report on past the last time we spoke about it. So if you're wondering where Demon Slayer, Deep Insanity, or what was that giant?
Megaton Musashi?
Yeah. They will not be featured in this only because, as I said, drop like a steaming sack of shit. So, or still going. All right, cool. Should we get on with this?
Let's get to it.
Right. So who's taking the first pick?
Not me.
We should have decided in order. I'm gonna go with JoJo.
All right. You show us the JoJos.
So this was a bit of a surprise one. I didn't know that this was coming out the way it was because it's only starting to be aired in Japan as of the 8th of January. So as the time of recording this, it still hasn't aired yet. And
I'm confused. You're telling us about a show which hasn't even aired?
No, because it's actually been streamed on Netflix worldwide, the first 12 episodes, right? And they were also dubbed as well as subbed.
Wow.
Which was really, it was really impressive. So Netflix...
So all these other shows which have been coming out week by week, and now you've snuck in, and the first show we're going to talk about is one show that just dumped half its load in one day, and apparently... I don't even know if it's half. It might be a quarter. But apparently, it fell into fall. Like, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Or is it just JoJo? Can you describe this in any other way or in detail than just it's JoJo?
It's JoJo.
Is there anything more to say? But there's more
JoJo.
JoJo
with a girl,
but with girls. Damn it, Nasuth!
I haven't even seen it yet. I'm still back on what is it? Platinum Crusader? No, Platinum
Stardust Crusader.
Whatever. It's one of them. It's one of the really older ones. it's like the third arc.
It's Jotaro, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, with Star Platinum. There you go.
Yes, that's the one. That's what I was mixing up.
Yeah. So it's JoJo. It's amazing. Weirdly enough, there were no content warnings in this for. Yeah, exactly, right? So there is violence in this. Don't worry, this is her power. She can do this, right? By will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but it was just like, how are there no warnings on this on Anime Planet? But it's really well done. The voice acting was really good. The release, the delivery, the animation, the music, everything about this, it's top quality JoJo. So
did you watch both the dub and the sub? Like, did you switch between them at all to see how the quality was?
No, I actually just watched the dub because I thought the dub was of good enough quality. Like, I watched Goblin Slayer with you last night, before we recorded this.
Yeah.
Because I was an idiot and couldn't sleep until like 6 a.m. And
you watched the whole thing?
Yep. We did.
Yep.
Apart from the movie. But yeah, like there was some of the voice acting and that was just like terrible. But in JoJo Part 6, I was super happy. Don't worry, Loz, we'll watch it again.
I need to go back and rewatch the abridged series now, though.
Well, clearly you're disappointed that we didn't watch it all with you. So.
No, I'm disappointed in you staying up, not the actual.
No, I literally just could not sleep. I was like,
try lying in a bed rather than sitting at a computer. Anyway, back to JoJo.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's this classic JoJo. It's totally worth watching if you've got Netflix.
Okay, right, so this is just something from the outside. So I do mean to I'll start again watching JoJo and everything. I'll get up to speed with it. But is it really that different that the main character is female? Has that brought on anything different to the mix, would you say?
No. But what I like about this, so in JoJo, right, it really starts anew from part 3 in Stardust Crusaders, where stands become a thing, because stands were not a thing in the first 2 seasons, right? Yeah.
It's still connected to the Harmon ability, but it's different. It's like a refinement of it or something.
So they have stands now, and Jotaro's stand is like the most powerful stand in known existence because he can stop time, right? So, like, no one could do anything against him because he can just stop time. Right? Huh?
You said Jotaro. Don't you mean Dio?
Yeah.
I totally mean Dio. No.
We'll go back.
Sorry, no,
it's fine.
If you say you're tired and that's the reason, I will slap you the first time I meet you this year.
No. It's so I'm sorry to say, Nasuth. He develops his stand to actually be able to stop time as well.
Oh my goodness!
Right? Wait. What? Why are you not putting the spoiler button on?
It came out nearly 10 years ago.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh
what came out?
Huh?
What came out 10 years?
Stardust Crusaders.
And that's fine to spoil.
Oh my god!
Right, time to spoil every film from the 1960s up to present day.
Soiling Good's people, surprise!
What? Oh my god! No. So anyway, the whole point is that Jotaro appears in other seasons of JoJo, and is like, why is he just wiping the floor with whatever villain, right? But in this, really early on, they take Jotaro out of the picture, right? In a really, really good way. So it doesn't matter the fact that Jolene is a girl as a girl JoJo, but the actual series is setting up to be really, really good, and I question whether or not she's now my favorite JoJo. Yeah.
Is she also a Spider Girl?
No.
Well, that top looks very Spider Girl.
Okay, that's nice for you.
Right, so can you tell me, does this show add anything to the JoJo mythos in anything way other than just more JoJo?
To be honest, though, none of them really do. It's
I know,
like
I'm just checking if there's any difference. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it's like at the same time, it's like, yeah, yelling.
It's just different. It's just different, isn't it? It's just a different generation of yelling with stands.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Nani?
It's just. Oh my god! Sorry.
More importantly, in other anime news, have you guys watched? I think episode 3 of the spoof Pokemon JoJo.
No.
I haven't yet. I haven't. I do know of it, but I've been away. Are you going to spoil that now? Do we need to hit the spoilers button?
No. Right. So is there anything you want to talk about, or Naz, do you have any questions about JoJo? I mean,
no, I'll get to it eventually. I'm sure. Yeah. Now that I'm back into digging into Netflix stuff, I'll eventually get back to JoJo.
I will say though, I'm not a fan of the fact that Jotaro's design in Part 6 is so radically different compared to Part 3. Part 3, he's like a built brick shithouse. He's Fort Knox incarnate.
Oh, I do have a question on. Okay, go ahead. But that did spark a question.
In this, like he's a lot smaller. He's a lot thinner and like slimmed down and shit like this. It's like, but your rugby shoulder pads, where'd they gone? Sorry, yeah.
So
American football. I don't know. Pick one.
As I understand it, like each of the series kind of takes place in a different time, with slightly different, characters.
Yes.
There's a bit of continuity with some of them, but as I understand it, some of the later ones have slightly less continuity. So, but is this going back to like being a direct sequel to Part 3?
No. They all have continuity with each other.
Okay.
This is in chronological. This is after Part 5.
Oh, really? Okay. So Jotaro's still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so the big thing is that with the earlier generations of JoJo, there's huge gaps between the narratives. I think so.
Because Joseph went from being a young man to an old man.
Yeah, so Joseph Joestar is actually Jonathan's grandson. I believe so. Yeah, he's not his son; he's his grandson.
Yes.
And Jotaro Kujo is Joseph Joestar's grandson. Yeah, but Josuke, who's Part 4, is the same generation as Jotaro. And no, he's the generation younger, right? So like he's no one's particular. You get the idea. And Giorno is also the same generation as I think either Josuke or Jotaro, but Jolene is Josuke's daughter, direct daughter. Yeah.
So she's Jotaro's granddaughter? No,
she's Jotaro's daughter.
Oh. Okay.
Did I say Josuke? I meant Jotaro.
Okay. All right.
I meant Jotaro, sorry. So yeah, the problem is because Jotaro never fucking appears to age, I can't tell like how many years have passed. I know I think she's 18, right? So there has to have been 18 years between when he murdered Dio. So I think like Jotaro must be around 36.
Okay. All right.
But he looks like he's fucking 12! Anyway. It's hard to tell. Cool. So that's unless you got any other questions, move on to the next one.
Yep. I'll tackle well, let's go for Lupin. So I took notes while watching Lupin. I took one note. I literally just took one note, and it is Lupin.
Before you start Lupin, did you get around to watching that random one episode that I watched?
No, I didn't. I still didn't watch episode 0.
I do not understand it because I need to understand it, and I should skip it. But I'm like,
just skip it.
What's this got to do with my life?
Actually, maybe I did watch that, but I've forgotten because I had a few weeks break between episode 6 and picking it back up. So I may have watched it and just forgot because it's so random. But I literally just took one note, and it is Lupin wa Lupin des. So Lupin is Lupin. But I mean, it is actually really good. There are a few filler episodes, including like the one where he thinks he's going back in time to Imperial Japan, right around the time of World War II, World War I, something like that. So some of it makes kind of no sense. Like that one makes no real sense, and there's another one where, bit of a spoiler. I might want to put on the tags. He gets hired by the Archangel Michael. Fujiko gets hired by Fujiko gets hired by the Archangel Michael to steal the Archaeopteryx skeleton, which turns out to be massive and actually Lucifer. It's Lucifer's remains. I don't know. I don't understand. It has nothing to do with the main plot. It's not connected to the Raven in any way. It's not connected to Holmes and Watson and Lupin. It's just kind of weird, but it's good. I mean, it's great. It's a fun watch and everything. It's just bizarre. It doesn't make any sense.
Has this finished, by the way?
I could probably go ahead and take spoilers back off. Really, just a short little bit.
No, it's continuing to next season.
Yes, I was gonna say it is actually. It seems like that story is finished. The story with Lupin and Holmes has finished. But they did hint that there's going to be another arc, another part later on. There's a couple of my shows that actually did that. But yeah, no. If you like that sort of spy heist aesthetic that they put on, it's definitely a good watch. I don't think you necessarily... I think one of my only complaints is that they don't have very much going on. He rarely shows up, and he's just so crazy that it's...
He barely showed up, like, in the other seasons, in 4 and 5.
Yeah, I guess I haven't watched those. I just remember a lot of the early Lupin, where it's mostly the three of them, and occasionally Fujiko. But yeah, no, it's good. It's really well done. The animation is spot on. I mean, the voice acting is really good. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of Lupin or you're a fan of heist stuff, definitely watch it. Just be prepared for a little craziness here and there.
And I assume we're probably gonna have to wait till the end of next season before you can give us a final overview of it.
Well, like I said, they seem to have finished this arc. So the entire arc of the overarching plot of this season was trying to find out about a group called the Raven, who has apparently been operating since like the 60s, maybe even earlier. But they've wrapped that whole section up. They've solved the Lily Watson's memory issues and her hatred for Lupin. That's all been resolved. So if they're gonna do more next season, it's gonna have to be like a different arc or just random episodes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see.
So, one thing I want to ask is this realistically a series that is suitable for consumption week by week, or do you think this series is better consumed just binge watch the whole thing?
I think given the fact that there are not exactly filler episodes, but episodes that don't pertain to the main plot, I would say it's probably better to binge, because that way you can get through those and get back to the main plot faster.
Okay, cool. Do you have any questions, Loz? Was that a no?
I'm gonna wait till 25 episodes to ask Naz about it.
Okay, fair. Right. Should we move on to the next one then?
Yeah, let's do another Drew.
Another me?
Yes, because I only got 4. You guys have 6 each, so if you do 2 each first.
Okay, so I am going to do
Faraway Paladin. I want to hear about that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I want to know. I've been really interested. I do want to watch it.
Okay. Please don't.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, okay.
Tell me about this then.
So I think I've got some notes for this.
If anyone's not aware, this has been a really interesting premise. Is it an isekai?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is an isekai with some kid being raised by 3 undead characters. It's the premise of the thing. I remember from previous things, I've mentioned, it's so slow, oh my god, it's so slow. Could this get any slower?
It did!
Is this the one that you said before the recording that there was a contender for meetings and gazebos? Is this it?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah. Sorry, yes.
Oh my god.
It's like so it really doesn't start picking up until about halfway through the season, where the characters from the sodding intro start turning up. And you're like, hold on, we're halfway through. Why are you turning up now? I expected you like 5 episodes ago. So the thing that this show does phenomenally well is the world setting. Whomever wrote this had put so much time, effort, and dedication to the world crafting. It's really impressive. Right, there's a lot of care and attention to detail put into the different deities, how the magic system works, how spellcrafters that are like adept at the magic system can use it better than others. Why they're able to do it better. There are so many carefully well thought out details to this world, and the motivation, like, you could barely tell that this was an isekai because the main character, he's effectively role-playing it as like a true life like D&D player. Like he's never breaking character, unlike shows like Mushoku Tensei where he has quite frequent internal monologues. Our protagonist here, though he has internal monologues, he doesn't break away into his past life. Yeah, does that make sense? Right? So a lot of that,
we don't have a quiet moment in which he reflects on what he did, how he got here, what that might mean.
We don't even know how he got here. Right?
Yeah. No. But I mean that him reflecting on his past life is like, wow, in my previous life, I would never have seen such amazing things like this. I better use this life to the fullest. Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. So the only instance that I can recall is when they go to a bathhouse, right? And they go to a big city, and there's a bathhouse there, and he's like, "Oh my god, a bathhouse!" And it's not your traditional Japanese bathhouse. It's more like the Roman style ones with the saunas and things like this. So again, very, very interesting levels of detail in there. The only problem is, it's another contender for fucking meetings and gazebos, right? You get 1 episode, but there's truck tons of action, followed by 2 or 3 episodes of just like, oh, can we have less conversations, please? Right? There was 1 episode where I'm going to quickly slap on less spoilers, or I'm going to at least try to. Yep, cool. So there's 1 episode where after our main characters down a wyvern, right? He and like his hunter friend are called to this prince's chambers to have a meeting and things, and like, literally the episode is so fucking boring because it's a conversation that's just going back and forth, and then surprise character conversation goes back and forth. I actually fell asleep twice during this episode, and I had to restart it both times. I was so bored. Right?
A ringing endorsement.
So it's honestly, like, I do not recommend watching this. Whoever came up with this, either they don't understand pacing, or they just don't understand plot.
Okay, so
nothing happens.
So the plot, I assume, doesn't resolve itself within 12 episodes.
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea because the 12th episode isn't out yet.
Oh,
they decided to delay it a week.
Right. Okay.
Oh, it should have aired yesterday, right? But for whatever reason, they've decided, oh yeah, it's going to come out on like Thursday.
Wow.
Maybe they wanted to avoid New Year's.
Is it likely they'll resolve the plot?
Probably not.
Right, so it's going to need more episodes to continue the plot. So you need like another 12 episodes.
So basically, the kid who acquires a deity, right, or the deity acquires him. Pick one. She turns around and says, like, I want you to go around helping people and thwarting evil, right? That's his whole mission. It's not, I need you to go kill a demon lord or some shit like that. So he's got such an open-ended mission. He could be at it for fucking ever.
Right. Okay.
So
amazing.
Yeah.
So that's a not recommend then.
No, I really don't recommend this one.
I think I'll check in with you next week, just at some point in the episode next week, just to know how that 12th episode finished up. We'll see. We'll see if he can summarize it in 3 words, but we'll see. Right, so let's move on.
I'll probably just say shit.
Let's move on. What else we got? So Nasuth, one for Nasuth.
Let's do Mieroku-chan, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this one.
Right.
This is the one where it's kind of like a slice of life anime, a little bit of high school drama, but it's all filled with ghosts. So it takes that normal sort of happy situation and turns it on its head with our main character being able to see these horrific things, right? But towards the end, she starts to figure out some stuff about it. She encounters she goes to so at one point her friend Hana, who has this golden aura around her, is being specifically there's this demon that's following her around because of the light. And constantly like draining her energy and stuff. It's feeding off of her essentially, and so they go to Mieroku takes her to a shrine to see if maybe praying will help get rid of it, and it reveals some of the other spirits that exist in this world besides just the dark and ominous ghosts. But not really a spoiler, but let's just say that the good spirits are also kind of creepy in their own way. It's really weird, but it's really good. I really loved that twist to it. And so she gets a little bit of help from them, but she also kind of figures out that she needs to not ignoring the stuff is helpful. It's good. It keeps them from just getting swamped. Yes.
What is wrong with that kid's face?
What do you mean?
Well, his eyes are over here.
Hey. Don't be being a bigot, you.
I think it's just the art style. I think it's just the art style.
It's just the art
It was so weird. None of the other characters are anything near like that. Sorry.
Well,
I don't know.
In that scene, they were specifically, if I remember correctly, they were specifically watching a creepy ghost show, and he was trying to be. Yeah, it's him poo-pooing the show.
His eyes were up in his forehead.
Put you anywhere.
What? I'm not wrong. Moving on.
I would say that it's a little bit okay. So you know how you complain that Jahi is kind of a one-note thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit of that because it's always, I see the ghost. Well, almost always. I see the ghost and I ignore it. But I think that there are enough episodes where they play on that in other ways. Like I said, when they go to get the good spirits, or when the guy with all the little evil cat spirits is following them around, confronts them, which actually comes back later, which is actually really cool. That bit from early on comes back to in the end. And helps Mieroku Miko sort of learn more about her what she needs to do in these situations. So there is actually character growth. It's really I'm hoping for a season 2 because it was really good. But don't go looking for any really deep plot. It's not super deep. It's very comedy driven in its own way. So if you're looking for something lighter that you just want to sit down and watch and have fun with, it's really good. It's really good. Despite the creepy ghosts.
See, everything you're saying, it just makes me feel like, yeah, but have you seen what's appearing on our screen right now? I mean, this feels like nightmare fuel.
Yes, yeah. There's some of that too.
I'll have to give this a go.
I thought it was really fun, just really enjoyable. Any questions, Laws? Any questions, Zeno? You got anything for me?
No, I think you covered all the points you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, Laws, pick one.
Well, after your one with what was it, Faraway Paladin, I will go on for World's Finest Assassin.
That one, got it.
Yep. So this I found. Actually, I've got 2 isekais to do, haven't I? I've got 3 isekais to do. Damn it! I've stolen all the isekai. All the good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was going to watch this. This is the interesting tale of a assassin in our world who then gets taken out in the first episode, and a goddess takes his soul, specifically his soul, to reincarnate into a magical world as an assassin to kill the hero at a specific time. The hero will get to the age of, I think, like something like by the time our character gets to 16, the hero will become a hero and kill the demon lord, and then he has 2 years to kill the hero before the hero goes on rampage and pretty much ruins the world. And that's what happens. That's the setting. I did really enjoy the show. It was a bit of a slow burner, but unlike, I don't think you could tell me Faraway Paladin. You couldn't really tell me anything that happens or anything interesting, like different steps throughout the show. Could you tell me anything?
Oh no, I could. I really could. I've actively chosen not to because of all the dull monotony shit.
Right, okay. Well, I really enjoyed this show. It does show the progression of the character as he is using, his very analytical mind from our world and applying it to a magical world. The only criticism I have is, obviously, he learns magical skills. You can see him there in the background using magical sniper thing. They learn magic, and it's a bit too easy for him to just make a gun out of 2-3 magical words said in a funny way. It does feel a bit too easy, and then when he's done with it, he can crumple it into like a normal chunk of metal again, and so people can't use them against him, which is pretty cool. But the acquisition of he gets 3 girls on his side because every isekai has to have a harem. 2 of them acquired quite early. The third one, the third one appears early on, but then doesn't really get acquired by the end of the show. It's and I'll get to spoilers in a sec. I'm trying to say this without spoilers. The show, though, I feel does really good over its arc. It is a bit slow in that 12 thing, but I do feel like there are some cool moments and some cool twists of what he does to do things. This is an isekai in which he comes up with, I'm going to have a shop, but this character's good because he goes, and I'm not going to run it.
Nice.
Which I approve of greatly. In fact, he says, I'm going to make a shop, and here's the product we're going to sell. It's going to be really amazing, because he brings in the idea of something from our world that, they don't have. And it's like, oh, that's a really simple, clever idea. Ah, really good. And then he just gets other people to run his shop while he does stuff. So that's good, because, we have the isekai tradition of, I'm going to run a shop now and waste 3 episodes, where he's like, good, you run my shop for me. I'm going over there. Which is great. The interesting developments, though, you have with the goddess, which I'll get to, is like, well, what's actually going on, which is quite interesting and done in a clever way. And his character, he does take the only thing is, it does take him a while to actually start assassinating people. But when he gets to assassinating people, he does do an okay job of it. And then there's I think in fact, it is the last episode. The last episode really sets up some good stuff, which I'll talk about in spoilers now. So, can I have some spoilers?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, cool. So as I was saying, I was really enjoying the arc. We have 3 characters. Oh,
yeah.
We got 3 characters. The 3 female characters are brought in. We have the maid girl that he rescues, she's literally been abandoned to die in the world. He needs people with magic as well, by the way. He set that as a rule. Then the second girl is how to describe it? Pretty much a orphan living on a street with a group of other girls. Those are the girls he gets to run his perfume shop in a really interesting way. And then the third girl is the girl who taught him magic early on. Now, the key thing I was going to get to, which is really cool as a twist,
Yeah?
Oh.
Don't worry about that. Okay. Don't worry about that.
Don't look at the other screen, Lars. Don't look at it. No, the really cool thing, right? So I was going to say the show is a bit of a slow burn. And it needs a second season to finish at least, another 12 episodes. Because I was like, oh god, we're getting through like many episodes and we haven't even got to the point of even discussing the hero. Doesn't even turn up. The hero literally turns up for like 2 seconds as like, this is the hero, as the reveal at the end of things. Like, oh, okay. And I kind of like this because it means if there is another season, we're going to get 12 episodes of him now dealing with the hero, which was kind of cool. In the last episode, though, a character turns up who everyone thinks is the hero, even our main character, and the way he deals with it is really cool. But this character, up to this point, he has been nigh unstoppable, really. And then this character turns up, and it's like, oh, this guy, because we assume it's the hero. You kind of feel like it's going to do the hero. It's a really cool way. It's this meathead character with this ridiculously legendary spear, which he can chuck, and it destroys everything in its range, and that comes flying back and destroys things on the way back. It's like, wow, this guy's really powerful. And he hits him with a howitzer. Just summons a howitzer.
Wow.
Shoots the guy with it. It's like, oh, it only destroyed a bit of his armor.
So wait. Our assassin summoned a howitzer.
Yes.
Was it actually a howitzer, or was
I don't know if
it
it's an actual howitzer. It was a small siege cannon.
Okay.
He summons an artillery piece and shoots it at the guys. Wow. That's what I mean. That's my one flaw with it, is that I don't like how the magic system in this is a bit too easy. It just is kind of, you can just pull things out of the air like that. I mean, he doesn't pull a nuke out of thin air, but he does do something cool, which I'll say how he does kill this character if anyone wants to know. We're in spoilers. But the fact he can just summon a howitzer and it's like fully formed. Like, I can understand he like summons a magical blade. I can get maybe he summons a magical gun that's like a rail gun for like a magic projection system, like some sort of gun. This one, unlike his rifle, which you could kind of think is like just a magical object that shoots magical bullets and uses magic like a railgun. This literally is an artillery piece on wheels. He just summons.
Wow.
It's just like, okay, which is a bit of thing. But and well, that doesn't work anyway. So then what he does is he sends something in orbit and sends it crashing down. But the whole scene is played really well. Trust me. He just sort of goes, whoop, whoop. You're like, what did he do? Oh well. And he challenges the guy to a duel, and he has it timed down to the second. As soon as the duel begins, the guy gets shot from orbit. It's such a good scene. So it kind of sets up. It turns out that guy isn't the hero. So it's a bit of a sad thing that this doesn't resolve it. But the other thing I was going to say, we get some interesting stuff with what is going on with the goddess. That she's clearly got another story which evolves throughout the episodes, which is really interesting. Where she's tried other methods of killing the hero.
Yeah.
Like, you're the best rep artist ever. I want you to kill the hero with your sick insults. and then like all the peasants are like, why are you insulting us?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, and she goes, maybe those insults, maybe those sick burns just cause insults. So obviously, it's a bit weird what's going on with the goddess. But she also tries summoning like the best samurai or the best sword fighter, and then you see what happens when it's almost like she's got infinite copies of the worlds, and she's just repeating the same thing. So it seems really weird because when she tells it to him, she describes it as, you've got to do this, as if you're the only one.
Yeah,
but he's like attempt number 4,000 or something. So it's really interesting what's going on with the goddess and why she's doing that. And she specifically, that it's weird. You go back in time and throughout the episodes, you'll get maybe one goddess moment an episode of like which used a different weird jokey method to kill them. I can't remember what it was. I think one was like a musician, an artist or something to paint a picture. That kind of weird stuff. No, one was a paparazzi to try and kill to get the hero with the thing. It's like, what's going on with that? But then at the end, we get to the point where she says, right, I have to wait for I'll try an assassin now, and she's like waiting for Soul. It's almost like a computer system. It sounds really interesting. So there's the plot of the hero, which is finding it off with the assassin side, which is only you literally get 2 seconds of that's the hero, and then what's going on with the goddess. So I will be looking forward to the other 12 episodes, which I don't know if it's been announced. And as for Last Drew's question of, is this show better to watch one by one or the whole thing? Now the whole thing's out, I would say you could watch it and enjoy it, because there were times I'm just like, oh, just move on. I just want to move on. Make him grow up already, or something else, or we just spent an entire episode with orphans. But now the whole thing's out, I would say it's worth a watch. And I love the intro. The intro music is great.
Okay, right. Should we move on to unless Nasuth, do you have any other questions for Loz?
No, I'm probably going to wait until the next season is out so that I can...
I'm going to see if there is going to be another season.
Because
there has to be, because it's all right. I thought it was all right.
As it is now, I'm not sure I would enjoy it. But if they actually get to dealing with the hero, then yeah, I'd probably watch it.
Okay, right. So if you could compare this to another isekai, right, that you have enjoyed as much, are you easily able to say better than Spider?
Better than Spider, more fulfilling than Spider.
More than Spider.
Yeah. Well, apart from it's like Spider is good when it's just Spider, but it wastes all that time on other stuff. This doesn't have that other stuff, so it's all right. Okay. And if it was just against pure Spider, I would say it's about a little bit less, maybe, but just almost as good, yeah, as the Spider.
Log Horizon Season 1?
Better
than Log Horizon. It's better than Log Horizon Season 1.
I
remember Season 1. Season 1 had all the game mechanics. It was nothing but game mechanics.
What happened towards the end of Season 1, though? How did Season 1 end?
I think they had some weird thing where someone was trying to screw the market and with fake permits to trade.
Yeah, you see that this because it's got the city economy stuff, and had to buy the thing. It's more focused on that. I was about to say that this is more focused on the system it has in play, and that's the thing. You feel the whole time he's actually really overpowered, but he's actually just being really clever. He only has 5 skills. This is why I think the end of the season thing with this guy turning up is going to play the hero. The hero has like 100 S rank skills or something, or S to B rank skills. He only has 1 S, 1 A, 1 B. He has like 1 S, 1 A, 1 B, 1 C, 1 D rank, and that's all he has. Yeah. And if in the first 2 episodes, he seemed really overpowered until this guy turns up who has he can work out because he's really clever. This guy has like at least 6 B rank skills or something, and it's like, this guy must be the hero. That's why he thinks this. And he's actually a bit of a challenge. Apart from he one shots them with his secret smart, but apart from that, he would lose in an instance if it was a fair fight. The assassin was like, he cannot win in a fair fight against this guy, and only because he knows how ridiculous things of, hey, this was an invention in our world which couldn't exist because I've now just used magic bullshit to do it. So how he's going to build the hero who's going to be on that so it's more focused on skills and systems than than like a city development or world development.
So Sword Art Online.
A bit more focused, like Sword Art. But Sword Art again is the environment.
No, Sword Art does.
Yeah, it's close to Sword Art actually. Yeah, I would maybe put this on par with some of Sword Art, actually, because I don't rank Sword Art that high, but so I like that, yeah. If you like Sword Art, I think you'd like this.
Okay, cool. Right, so moving on to the next one. Who's going next?
I think it's you, isn't it?
You again.
Okay, I'll go. Wait, was it?
Tell me about vampires!
No, I'm going to talk to you. Fine, I'll talk to you about fucking vampires. Right, so we've got... what was this? Irina the Vampire Cosmonaut. I really was into this up until episode 7.
Okay.
And then my interest sort of like it was given the opportunity to dip, and as a result I kind of just let this one stack up until I continue to watch it. No, I'm going to say I haven't finished it, right?
Have you finished Nasuth?
No, God, no. I stopped around 5 or 6.
I'm like an episode and a half away from the end. I was trying to finish it today. But unfortunately, I forgot I had to watch Blue Period as well and things like this. So, but I'm like, oh, crap, there was a lot I had to catch up on. Anyway, so with Irina... It does in all honesty, it's a really good story about the journey of this character that is treated as less than dirt, who's being basically used as a lab rat to achieve not Russia's goals, right? And I think it does such a good job at telling that story where everyone apart from like a couple of characters treat her like pure dirt. Like, they try to kill her off and things like this because there's like, so this person cares about the lab rat, but I don't want that person to care about the lab rat, so I will try to kill the lab rat in an accident, but then the person tries to save the lab rat, and then, you know, it just backwards and forwards a bit and gets a bit like, there's a lot of like internal politics and crap like that. But after the big event, actually, fuck it, spoilers. It's just easier than tiptoeing around. So wait, they didn't turn on.
Why did they not turn on?
I'm trying now. Can you do it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. So saves me having to tiptoe around. So basically, halfway through the season, Irina actually gets sent into space, right? So they run her test. And then it's like, well, where are you going to go from here? And then it's the story of the cosmonauts actually going into space, right? So she was the test guinea pig to make sure that the capsule was safe and everything for the actual cosmonaut, right? Who will eventually go out. So it was then his story, and then it became a bit of a love story between him and Irina. Yes, and it kind of felt a little bit weird.
So Len is the one that becomes the cosmonaut?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, I kind of knew that would happen.
Yeah, the plot is a bit predictable. Like, as soon as she comes back, I didn't see it coming that she was going to go out so early on in the series. But the second you had that plot point and she'd come back, you were just like, oh, well, now he's just going to go out. He's going to be the cosmonaut, right? And she's going to be down on Earth, like, you know, wondering if she'll ever get to see him again and shit like that. You know, you could tell where the story was going to go as soon as you had that one plot point. But yeah, so that in part was one of the reasons why I delayed continuing watching it. I'd say now that it's all out, I'd say it's worth binge, right? Okay. So actually, let me try and turn off the spoilers. Did that work?
Why is that suddenly stopped working?
It might be a VPN issue, but yeah. So, where was I going with this? Yeah. So, oh crap.
Worth a binge.
Now that it's all out, what?
You said it's worth a binge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth a binge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
What happened?
What happened where?
Okay, you're back. Your camera just froze for a minute. That was weird.
Did you turn off and on the VPN?
No, I didn't touch it.
Nah, nope. Don't know then. But anyway, yeah. So I would give this a go.
I do want to finish this one. It was just really low down on my list compared to everything else.
I think one thing I would have really liked is more of an explanation as to where the vampires came from. I mean, obviously this is alternate Earth where you have not Russia and not America. They call it the United Kingdom, but you're fucking lying to us now. I got my hopes up. I thought it was not UK. No, it's not America. Why'd you do this to me? But it'd be nice to know like more about the vampires. There's no explanation to the vampire origin in the slightest. It's just like, oh, well, astronauts, but they're Russian, so cosmonauts. Shit. And there's vampires. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they're just like they're a stand-in for insert X group of people that you know, people, the Russians and the not Russians in that time period might have looked down on and seen as subhuman or whatever. Essentially,
it just feels a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, right.
I do really like their for the parts I did see. I really love how lovingly they display all the technology and space stuff that you know went into it.
Animation spot on. It's really, really well animated. The knowledge that's put into things like how to do a parachute landing. Again, like they go into the details of like, you know, feet together. Is it knees, hips, you got to roll to the side sort of thing. You can't
the 5-point landing or whatever it is.
Yeah, you know, so they actually go into details like that. So it is really well put together. It's a really good show, but it just kind of it lost that drive for me when that plot point was revealed. Because like you can see here now, like they're talking about like, and she was afraid of heights.
Oh, that was such a cute moment in the show. I love that
picture
one.
looks cute.
Yeah. So it's a really good show. But you know, if you've got other stuff to watch, maybe not go for this. But if you've got the opportunity to watch something else, go for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 shows I just want to ask you next week how they finish off, because I'd like to know if this one, because you say it seems like it gets to 7, it climaxes at 7. You're like, okay, and then it seems to linger on for a bit. I'd like to know that it actually finishes on a high, or could you've chopped out a couple of episodes?
I think you could have chopped out a couple of episodes. I can say that now. But it's just like... It's still good.
Okay. On to Nasuth.
Right, I'm going to do one that Xeno absolutely hated. It is SAKUGAN. So I actually really enjoyed this one. I understand why you don't like it. I can say that those, like, Memempu does get a little better. I think once they bring in the other 2 characters that are part of their group, the dynamic changes, and that helps take some of the know-it-all pressure off of Memempu, so you don't see that quite as much. The only thing I didn't really like by the end was that they never explain where the kaijus come from. A lot of other stuff actually does get explained. We actually do find out why exactly Memempu is so smart. It's not just natural talent.
Right.
It's not really a spoiler to say that. I'm just, but we never find out where the kaiju come from, why they're doing what they're doing, why everyone is living underground in this weird place. Although we do find out why all the cities are sort of like microcosms. Like, you've got the one city that is all about having fun, and, they've got casinos and all that good stuff. And you've got another one that's essentially like a libertarian's dream world, where everyone fails or succeeds based on, how good they are. But they say that they're the most equal colony in the world when they've got this thriving underworld of people that can't actually succeed. We do find out why that happens and what's going on, but I don't know. The themes of the show are like, do you stay with the safe and stagnant present, or do you try to upset it? It's kind of like the old people who want to keep things the way they are versus the young people who want to throw things into chaos and see what comes out of it. They do actually kind of explore what it means to be a father too by the very end, which was something that I think was sorely lacking in the rest of the show.
Yes, I have seen only a few choice bits of this show, which I just seen like the clips on YouTube. I think Crunchyroll does, and they're all that kind of. Several of them are just that kind of thing. It's like dad moments with the show. That's what
there are a few of those, but there's not. Because I think it's because of Gagumber's character and what's happened to him. He has a hard time, being the responsible one unless it really, really matters. But there are those moments, like there's, we could do a little bit of spoiling.
I think it's time for a bit of spoilers.
It's a little bit of spoilers.
Spoilers.
So one of the characters, Zakletu, is actually the sister of Gagumber's dead partner. But he doesn't know that until she kidnaps Memempu and basically says, come deal with what happened. You ran away. You never came back and told me that my brother died. We need to hash this out. And that's kind of where things finally start to change. And Memempu's not quite as much of a shitty little snit, to put it mildly. And our other characters start all coming together, and they actually start moving forward towards the end of the plot. They introduce these characters called Shibito, who are the embodiment of we need to throw things into chaos, we need to disrupt the order. But again, and they seem like they're in league somehow with the kaiju, but they don't actually put that connection in there.
Sorry. If you just said that there are a league of bad guys.
Yes, called the Shibito. Yes.
Mm-hmm. When the fuck did they appear? Because I watched 5 episodes of this dribble.
Do you remember the 2 people wearing weird masks that were following them?
No.
They do show up in those first 5 episodes, but it's very like background. You only see them a couple times.
Fucking bullshit, you do.
Yeah, no, you do. And those are people that are working for the Shibito, working as the Shibito.
Are we talking like full like face masks, like Naruto style, or are we talking
like it covers their entire face? You can see the girl's hair; she's got like white hair, but otherwise they're wearing masks and cloaks and hoods and yeah.
I'm calling you out on this. I don't think they turn up in the first 5 episodes.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'd have to go back and watch it again, but I'm pretty sure they do. You could blink and miss it though, because it's very like, oh, we have to follow them. Yeah, but the reason my Mempu is so smart is because she's a rainbow child, which is also something they don't really explain.
Wait. Do they actually call her a rainbow child?
Yes, she is one of many rainbow children. The Shibito want to kill the rainbow children for some reason.
Because they're called rainbow children? It's a stupid
probably.
name.
So the thing I gather is that they're genetically engineered. So,
yeah.
And for some reason, they've been created to help maintain the status quo of the labyrinth and the underground world. But that's why she's so smart, right? Because she's been designed to be that way.
Yeah.
Anything else I can think of? Any questions you have while I'm at it?
Like, what state are we in by the end of the series? Could we continue on into a series 2? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
They still haven't made it to their ultimate.
Announced?
I don't know. There has not been a season 2 announced that I know of. So it may end here.
But it's the same thing with I just had a quick look. The Assassin one hasn't had a defined second season yet.
Mm.
So it's one of these things that sometimes they skip sometimes they're right away. Sometimes it might be a year until we see another season. I mean, when Mushoku Tensei, we had the first season. This time,
it was this time. Sorry, it was winter 2021.
21, yeah. So it took a year before the second season. It was
no. It took 2. It was gone for 2 seasons. It was winter 2021 when it first came out.
You mean 2020?
So winter 2021, right? So the start of the year.
Either way, yeah, 2 seasons. So it's out for 2 seasons and came back through. So there might be a while before some of these things get announced.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel that the dynamic with daughter and dad is abysmal. I watched, as I said, 5 episodes of this dribble. When does the counterbalance of the additional characters come in to save it?
I believe at that point you may have already met Zekletu and the hacker guy whose name I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's guy. I can't remember his name.
The tall, lanky, posh guy, the one that wears a suit.
Like the red hair. No, that's Meru. He's part of the bureau who's in charge of maintaining the status quo.
No, I haven't seen the hacker.
Okay, so it's like episode 6, I think, when they all finally get together. So you're like 1 episode away. Xeno, I don't think you would like it. I honestly don't. I
don't like it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think that the things that elevate it towards the end would be enough for you. In fact, I'm not even sure I could recommend this to a wider audience, but I personally enjoyed it.
Right, okay.
What you're saying is Xeno is full of hate.
What I'm saying is just go watch Made in Abyss. It's much better.
Will do. I've heard good things of Made in Abyss. I think it's getting a second season soon.
I think, yeah. Doesn't it already have a second season?
No, it's got a movie.
There's 3 movies, which are amazing.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Which essentially cover, I think, the first season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'd give this like a 6.5, 7. It's watchable, but it's not amazing.
Right. Where are we at now?
It's another Laws one.
You know what? I've done Oh no, I've done one. I'm gonna shake it up. I will do 86. Let's go into something meaty for Xeno to talk about again. We finished. Well, no, I've had this in here. I think Xeno didn't want to put this in here, but I'd wanted to. I want to round it off just for a bit of complaint here. So this is the second season, 86, with our characters now in another place, which I'm trying to avoid spoilers in case anyone's not watching it, and obviously still continuing their war against the Legion. Hit spoilers.
Oh goodness, already?
Yeah, because there's nothing much really to talk about. So here we go. So there's not really that much to talk about in this because I think this is a show that is actually having production issues in the later seasons.
It's clearly having massive production issues.
I've lost the spoilers.
Oh.
You hit it again. Let's see if it actually works. Because apparently it does. Just slow.
I've lost my spoilers.
There you go.
There we go. So obviously, yeah, this I believe this is a show that is actually having production issues. I don't know if it's script issues or animation issues. There's something that's holding it back. We've had so it's designed to be 2 seasons, which should be 24 episodes, of which 3 of those have been lost for 2 recap episodes. Wow. And 1 special episode, I think, at the end of season 1 to recap season 1. So I think it's 3-ish recap.
No.
episodes.
So what Japan does with the recap episodes is a 0.5 episode. It doesn't count to the.
Yes, it does.
The total. Does it? I swear it doesn't.
Wikipedia
they definitely used to.
Wikipedia counts it as counting towards the total number of episodes for this show to be produced.
So how many has it got in total?
24.
And one of them is.
So it's only got 1 episode left now.
Yes, yeah. So it lists as it lists as 24 episodes, 21 episodes plus 3 specials, and we've had 3 specials. We're just missing 1 episode, which is being pushed back from. Which should have aired by now, I think, or being airing.
Yeah.
To today.
No, it should have aired. Should have aired ages ago. No, because you remember you got like 1 week off.
No, I know that, but from the previous episode 21, this last episode 22 should have aired now.
Yeah.
But it's being pushed back to March, and I don't know why. It's not like it's going to be movie length or anything. There's been weeks where they've delayed it for no reason. We've had this season's been the worst. We had like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then SP2, special episode 2.
17.5.
SP2.
Fucking
18. Then so we had episode 17. Then at Fine for Xeno, we had 17.5, which was a recap of the first 6 episodes. Then we had episode 18. Then
18.5.
So 17.5 had some did have some stuff about merchandise. It says here merchandise promotion and some comments for the voice actors. Then we had 18. Then 18.5, which was the recap of the past 7 episodes. So the first 6 episodes, which have just been recapped, we did 1 more. Let's have another recap episode. We've had 1 more episode. So we're just recapping everything again on that 1 more episode. It's like, okay, that's worth my time.
Then we had a week's of nothing.
Yep.
And then it came back. Yep.
Wow.
This is quite clearly had production problems.
No, sorry, it had 18.5. The next week, then we had 19. Then we lost a week. Then we had...
okay.
Yeah, so that's it. And episodes 19, 20, 21 are 19 and 20. I could not describe much of what happens apart from talking. And then 21 is just an epic battle. And I'm like, okay, that was really cool. Is it? Are you having problems animating this or something? I don't know what it is, but massive delays. But then we just need 1 more episode, which I imagine is probably going to be a lot of talking. I cannot believe it to be an amazing battle-esque episode.
I was just going to say this looks dangerously like a gazebo in this image.
No, that's sealed and locked. No one ever goes in it. They just look at it, and go, "Oh, that's nice," and walk away from it. Right.
I don't think they're doing anything special for this last episode. I don't they got nothing planned for anything special for this last episode. It's just a simple case of, well, they couldn't get it in on time, so the channel has to squeeze it in somewhere.
Yeah.
So it has Code Geass suffered this and God Eater suffered this, where effectively there were delays in the production, so they couldn't get the last episodes aired in that season, so it had to wait to the end of the following season when it's all scheduled in already.
Yeah.
So
so it's not finishing till March. I don't know what it's going to be. So, and the other thing to complain about for this show, which is kind of annoying, is it focuses. I've still got spoilers on. It focuses primarily on the characters in a new location. So they started in not Germany for season 1. They're in not Russia for season 2. And for the longest time, we don't know what's going on in not Germany now they've abandoned it. And then we get this, like, I don't know what, a fifth of an episode here and there for like 2 episodes.
There were a few minutes in each episode
teasing stuff that's going on, and then it just stops going back to that plot, and we're like, but you left that at a crunch point. What's going to happen? Are they all going to die because the robots finally break the not German defense line? And then she's been on screen for a lot there, but this lady, was it the Major?
The Major.
She does a really cool thing of connecting herself to literally every unit she can, which I think seems like it might kill her, I don't know, or fry her brain, but to save not Germany, I'm like, what's happening with that? Let's go back to that. So I don't know. I don't know if what our characters are doing at the same time might save not Germany because they kill an important robot leader thing. I don't know.
The thing that pisses me off
wait months.
Yeah, the thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that the Major is a prominent character in the fucking intro.
Yeah.
And she's barely been in it.
Ooh.
Right?
I would much preferred if she was like an ethereal ghost sort of character in the intro. And the characters obviously mentioned her thing, and we see nothing of her. So we had no touchstone of what's going on with her. And then like that, I've been like, oh, okay, this is kind of mysterious because they don't know what's going on, apart from odd comments from people. But no, we actually see from their perspective for like a couple of bits. I'm like, come on, don't tease me with that. And that's what's annoying me in Xeno, I think.
It's very frustrating. And I think realistically, the production of this, so the release of this, has actually damaged its reputation in my eyes. Right? I wouldn't be hating on this nearly as much had the I'm just trying to think had the release been smooth. But you know,
even the special even the recap episodes I don't mind as long as I know that okay, fine, we're doing a recap episode. Next week I'll get new stuff. But then recap episode, recap episode. I'm like, okay, that's
there's
really
filler, and then there's that.
Yeah, but then recap episode, recap episode, one episode that didn't do much, and a break of a week, and it's just like, what is going on? It just compounded on top of each other.
So I want to do something a bit different for. Let's take off the spoilers, Nasuth. Could you?
Sure.
I want to do something a little different for both. For 86, Komi and Mushoku Tensei, where we go over some of the reviews, just 3 really short reviews on Anime Planet. Just see what people are saying about these 3 shows. Yeah, okay. Just want to add this to the other thing. So the first one about 86, compared to the first season, the plot has nothing in it.
Ooh.
Nothing being set up, no story being followed. It reminds me of Attack on Titan season 3. However, the animation and sound are as good as ever.
So good production, but bad story is what they say.
Yeah, I agree with that. At the start of the season, it starts to do some interesting stuff, kind of watching these characters trying to reintegrate with the normal society. Then they just want to go back to Battlefield, and then we just return to them basically being the same place they are in season 1. That's it. Even retreading some of the ground, you know. That apart from this character here, this little girl who is an interesting character, which I wish we got more of. She's in a lot, but it's like it's all just like edging at something interesting going on, and it just never really gets the meat of it.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of wasted potential.
Oh yeah,
I'd say that. I would say that there is something in this season, but it's very reminiscent of the previous season.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it's not advancing it enough. But anyway, the next one is the second season is quite an interesting one. The animation and sound seem to have improved, and it definitely shows the battle scenes. Shows in the battle scenes, and some of the scenery I'd happily get on a canvas. While I usually is there? Oh, there's a lot to this one. So while I usually don't bother with openings and endings, the imagery of those are nice. Blah blah blah. The story is a bit on and off until the last couple of episodes, and you probably wouldn't miss out on much if you skipped the first few episodes. There's a recap episode somewhere that sums up everything anyway. Yeah. So
recap episode. More like
to be honest, I actually argue that the episodes you can miss are closer towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the beginning. I like the beginning stuff with the attempted reintegration.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, 86 Part 2 still has a lot of the same scathing commentary and themes that the Part 1 so good, but it's lacking behind in a few other areas. The story is a lot more scattered this time around, as well. So as we follow Shin and his group in the new roles in not Russia, as well as the military office politics going on, and Lena trying to fit. Is that the princess?
Probably.
Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, a lot of people are actually giving this poor on the story.
It does not develop a lot. It teases so much in season 2. It's teasing bigger things.
Yeah.
Like where we actually finally get a bit of a perspective from the AI's point of view, and we see how they do have separate consciousnesses, and there is stuff going on with them. It's like, and they do even have a special name for the main character, Shin, the Reaper. The AI have given him a special name.
Yes.
And it's like interesting.
Yeah, they're giving him a code name.
Yeah. That stuff is like kind of cool. It's like, oh, can we have more of that? No, we're going to stand around and talk in broken down areas. We're all gonna pilot our mechs a bit, not really do anything interesting with them. Oh, we're all gonna sacrifice ourselves, but not.
Right. Should we move on to the next thing then?
Yeah.
Right. Is it mine now?
yes, it is.
It is.
Cool. Right. I am gonna do Takt op.Destiny. Right.
Before you start,
okay.
I want to know, do they ever rediscover the lost technologies of headphones, soundproofing, and helmets?
Oh god, I remember that.
Yeah, you could build a helmet around, if like, okay, even the slight vibrations of headphones would go, you could be like, right, we could put a helmet on you, like a fishbowl, and keep the vibrations in. You could wear a helmet to lower, to keep sound in.
So, I really like, don't worry, I'll get to your points, don't worry, Loz. But I really liked the work that was done on this series. The audio, the world setting, the art, it was all really, really well done. And the initial premise, the initial, the launch of the show, I felt was also pretty solid. And then we got halfway. And we're starting to get some engine trouble. And we got some stalls. And then we had a tailspin and we blew up.
Oh, really?
So, I'm attempting, hopefully, yep, there we go, spoilers. So, I have no fucking idea what the motivation is of the bad guy in this series. Right? So, effectively...
Is the bad guy a human or one of the demons?
Yes! Yeah, he's a human.
Okay.
Right? So effectively, the D2 are 100% dormant, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't wake them up if you fucking tried. Yeah? So there's no real reason why no one has music, let alone headphones or soundproofing or that other shit, right? There is no real reason that music isn't played, because in most places, the D2, like, you know, there's like the few odd places.
But if anyone was not watching, the D2 is the name for the enemy,
the bad guy
came from space, like black, oily, weird creatures.
Yeah, and like the Symphonica, right? The organization, the military organization, they have built this laboratory on top of the meteorite that crashed into Earth that the D2 spawned from. All right, and I feel I must have had some kind of episode, because I cannot understand the motivation that the bad guy who leads the Symphonica, he just spawns all the D2 in New York. Like, he literally gets his hand and slams it as hard as he physically can against this, like, pointy stalagmite. That's the pointy. Yeah.
Height.
I thought height was the height was the down one.
Go for it.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
The point is pointing up.
Yes, yeah. So he just slams it into his hand, and then the whole, like, blood everywhere. Like, seriously, how do you have the willpower to avoid, like, you know, my Darwin reflex of not wanting to stab my hand? Like, so he just bloody puts this giant crystal through his hand, and then it just goes mental, and it spawns D2 fucking everywhere. You see music arts that you've never seen before helping out the situation, trying to curb the flow of D2 from spreading around and things like this. And it's like, and then he's like, he basically does it because he went insane. Because he was on the front line when the D2 first attacked.
Right.
That's it. That is it. That is. No. He wants to. Like, I don't know. I think he finds some form of passion in the death of humans, or the silence of no music, or, you know, the death of people, or the true music of the. The guy is fucking bug fucking sane. How the fuck is he leading this organization? Right? He was the one that was causing the D2 to spawn anywhere and everywhere.
So,
right?
How was he doing most of the time?
What? Like, outward appearance?
Yeah, so is this the guy who had two of the music arts with him, but one was bound to him and one was just some girl who never had a master on the train?
Turns out that fucker never had a music art at all. Right? The girl that was his, right, Hal, wasn't his in the slightest. Right? It was, they were faking it the entire time. And
do you make it, I guess?
No, Hal was actually bound to the head of the music. It's like the good, calm general man. Like, he's well composed. He's clearly the bad guy. He's too well composed, right? Not the blonde guy. The blonde guy was
because that guy, but he was kind of shady. It was like, ooh, he could be doing stuff. Ooh, secret thing. It wasn't even him. There was someone else just like, yeah, I'm insane now.
His boss.
Yeah,
right?
His boss summoned all the...
Who was the most well-composed person in the world. Like, he has two music arts, right? And they just do whatever he says. They're like... I don't want to say in love with him, but that's the sort of, like, implication. Like, we love him. And, like, no, you fucking don't. You can't love anyone. You have no emotions, right? And then they because... Oh, God, I think Titan, which is one of the other music arts, really... So there's two of them. There's Heaven and Hell, right? That the main bad guy has. Heaven and Hell... So Heaven gets horribly, brutally hurt. And so heaven and hell merged together to become, oh god,
Purgatory?
No. It's like Ophelia or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, so it merges into something that basically is immortal. It's like nothing can. It's so fucking dumb. And like this story was what's it called, scaling this beautiful countryside, going to this lovely, cliffside, and then just drove right the fuck off. And
wow.
it's just like.
Does it leave room for a season 2? No, I don't think it's actually going to have it. The whole point is this is, as I recall, this is to set up an app game.
I honestly have no fucking idea.
I know. I think this was the one that was designed to set up an app game.
So basically, it turns out Destiny is killing the main protagonist, right? Because
Destiny.
Her. Right, the one on screen right now, the girl that consumes the power off the maestro, right?
Yeah.
So she is slowly killing her maestro. So at the end, it's really fucking confusing because she disappears, right? So they've won, right? She disappears, leaving the maestro looking really fucked up. Right, his hair's gone partially white. Like, oh, quick, get an ambulance. He's barely breathing. So, like, okay, he's gonna survive. And then it skips to years later, where we haven't got a fucking clue what's gone on with him. And the sister, the redhead sister in the background there, she's now a maestro. And the weird thing is, it looks like she is the maestro for Destiny.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it seems to be breaking its own rules?
I don't know. As I said, nice scenic view, and then drove right off the cliff.
So, did you feel like anything was really resolved by the end of this series?
No. That's the fucker. That's the composed bad guy. It's like, right. I am not evil. And that's heaven next to it. I'm like, it's like, oh my fucking god.
The whole thing was a journey to try and bring back Destiny into a normal person. Now she's been possessed by a music art.
Yeah.
Because basically, main chap was basically in love with her, and he blamed himself.
No, she was in love with him.
Yes, yeah, he was an idiot. He just wanted to play piano. Sorry, well, he was. But he felt responsible for her death because I think she jumped in the way or pushed him saved at the event that, Yeah. All of that stuff. Yeah.
So none
was any of that story dealt with? That resolved?
None of it. So the weird thing is, they go to meet the older sister, Lottie, right? Who is
that one there?
No. The third older sister.
The third sister.
Right? Yeah. So she's the scientist at the Symphonica in New York, who will help the maestro and the music art to sort of try and heal and shit like this. And they're like, yeah, there is such a bad state. Like, realistically, the best thing we can do is put them in cryogenic sleep and then try and come up with a cure and then, sort them out when we have the cure ready.
Cure for who?
Right? For the maestro because the maestro is dying because of
the protagonist here, protagonist boy, piano boy.
Yeah,
he's dying, right?
Yeah. He's dying because of Destiny, right? Because they have not got a proper pact between music art and maestro.
Right. Yeah? Okay. So is Piano Boy's story resolved? Does he go into cryosleep or does he just disappear?
No, he sacrifices himself to stop insane leader from getting the D2 to destroy everything.
Right. Okay.
Jeez.
Fair enough.
I'm honestly like this. I was really enjoying this until the bad guy just goes like, and my motivation is dumb. So
don't you mean? Oh, about that time to be evil then.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. It was like
the evil switch.
Oh god, it was so weird and dumb.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it has an interesting premise. It's just, they didn't follow through on it.
No, it was beautifully animated.
So
it was a good setting. Good characters were interesting early on. The only thing I had a problem with was the world was a bit cliched. How that they just like, what, headphones? Oh, we don't have those. Like they literally just banned all music instead of being like, right, as a curfew, everyone must be below 30 decibels, or no, use that boombox. Here, have some headphones. Mandatory headphones handing out. Or just music suits. There's so many different cool things that could have appeared.
Music suits.
The only other
suit that stops vibrations getting out.
The only other thing I didn't like about this was the fact that there was only classical music and nothing else. There was so there was a little bit of jazz, right? But there was no rock, there was no pop, there was no metal, there was like nothing else. It was just classical, really.
If you're making an app game, that has to be saved for expansions. You got to make years of
content. Oh, okay, clearly.
You got to start with your base, your classical music.
Hey, DLCs.
Yeah, exactly. Got to get my weekly gacha banners up, man.
Clearly. Right. Honestly, let's turn that off. I don't know. Maybe people. Is this going to turn off?
I'll do it. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we'll turn back on. Oh, there it goes.
Motherfucker. Right.
What is with the delay?
I don't know. It's your fault. Right.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know what they are thinking with the series. It could be some people's cup of tea. The audio, the animation is phenomenal. Madhouse and Mappa knock it out of the park. They do such a good job. The scenes look amazing. Everything about this is so damn good, except for the fucking end where they just drive it off the cliff. I'm gonna drive this analogy off a cliff in a second.
Just to compare for another thing, which was an short anime one season thing that I keep bringing it up, but was it Cry of Bahamut or something?
Shingeki no Bahamut. Rage of Bahamut.
Which the season one
was so good.
The plot gets to the end, you think like, oh, this is going to be all cliched, and it's like, no, it sticks to the landing.
It's
hard. Sticks to the landing, solid.
Yeah, so that is like Trackmania, where you got all the weird loop-de-loops and the weird angle bends and shit like this, and the car goes right off the jump and just sticks the landing. This
crosses the finish line.
it crosses the finish line. This is like what was it, Happy Wheels, where you just drive right off into a bit of knives and die.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
There we go. Right, let's move on then.
Right, let's do Kyokai Senki, otherwise known as AMAIM, a warrior at the borderline. So I know you were watching this at one point, Loz. How far did you get?
No. I must have been about 8 episodes in. I'm going to keep going. I mean, this is a Bandai Mech show, so I'm totally with it. But I just haven't caught up recently with it.
Okay.
And just to say, though, this is continuing on into next season. So this is finished,
it leaves on.
Is it
not exactly a cliffhanger, but like a in between point,
mid-season's point.
Yeah. So they kind of resolve the initial arc. We have our main bad robot that is constantly showing up. They call it Ghost. And we mostly resolve that. I won't get too deep into it because I don't want to spoil it for Loz either. But
Kyokai Senki isn't in the leftovers of the next season.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking that myself. Hang on. Oh no, a second part will premiere in April 2021.
So it's spring.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting because I just checked it, and AniList used to say this was episode like 10 of 25 or something, and now it just says 13 episodes done. But I assume that's because it's going to split it, so it's not going to be in leftovers next season. It's going to be like a season 2 sort of thing, right?
But I really thought this was good. I loved the way that it focused on not just the mech battles, but also like the people, like the people on the ground, the people that it affects, the Japanese that are being ruled over by these other countries. I thought that our main character's growth over the season, from somebody who just was a robot enthusiast who didn't really want to fight, to somebody who found something that he could fight for, a reason to really stand up and do what he needs to do. I thought that was great. The mechs are really nicely designed. They have interesting... Apart from the heads, sure.
Heads suck. They're trying to be. They must have looked at them and be like, right, okay,
not Gundam.
They cannot look like Gundams at all.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. The face. I feel they could have done something different. I just don't like the faces. They just.
There's a little bit of political intrigue going on, but it also shows that not all, like, we have the Asian military who seems really bad, really, really bad, but by the end, there's at least one group of them that are like, They learn how to put their differences aside, at least for a little bit, in order to take on the main threat that's actually a threat, not each other.
Well, to me, it felt like the Chinese military. Well, I think they are Chinese.
They're Chinese. They're called Asians, but they're totally Chinese.
It was more that, like, it wasn't that they were all corrupt or anything. It was just like because they were very grouped down to individuals, and like the individual controlling a region was corrupt, and that was the reason why. I think there are points where they point out. The like some of the corruption is revealed, and then like their superiors for that person comes down hard on them. For what they did. So it isn't that they're completely.
But in general, they're very militaristic compared to the other two.
Yeah. Definitely.
The Europeans are more like empire oriented. Like they think in terms of emperors and duchies and things like that. So they have a huge amount of troops that they can throw, but they don't really care so much about the actual military strategy. They just throw numbers, while the Asians really, really care about the strategy, and like ruling with military precision is a good way to put it, I'd say. And then there's the Americans who are just kind of there. Although they do play a good role, an important role in it, but they don't really seem to. They give the Japanese people the illusion of autonomy, at least, whereas the other two don't really do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's honestly a pretty good show. The AIs I thought were going to super annoy me at first, but I actually really enjoyed them.
They're not overused. That's the thing. Yeah. So the AIs individually, I think if it was just one of them, they get rather grating. If you had one AI that was helping all of them, and it was like that was the mascot character. But because each mech runs with its own different AI,
and they all have their own personality. Yes, it's really good.
Yeah, which is kind of good. I think I think we've said this before. Because I know I haven't finished it, and I do mean to because I think it's good. But I thought it was going to be annoying. That the main character being like, I don't want to fight. I thought it was going to be like,
but it adds to his growth in the end, right?
They do a very good job of it, where it grows naturally to his thing, where he starts seeing the consequences of if he doesn't act, what he has been given the opportunity to do, and then he makes the choice to go do it, and then he doesn't regret it or anything. He goes, no, I'm in now. It's like, oh, that was fair growth. It didn't take forever.
It feels very real, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't feel forced. He wasn't like, I need to help, but I'm scared or something like that. It's just like, just get in the mech. It was. I felt it did a very good job of it. And as you say, to show the normal life of people and how it's affected in this scenario, this weird. I don't know how to describe this, because it reminds me of Code Geass again, where another nation takes over Japan. It's like, I don't know, empire loss. I don't know. It's like a fetish. Watching your country being like, I can't throw it another way.
Well, to be fair, that is something that Japan's had to deal with, right? They've always had the constant threat of Asia, and then America came in and actually occupied them, right? So,
but this one is the absolute extreme of it. It's like, okay, we weren't taken over by one side; we were taken over by three.
Everyone.
Even post World War II, Germany only got taken over by two people and had like weird splitting things. Like they're like, nah, we want to come up with an idea where we get taken over by three nations at times. That's just, it's so crazy. But
it's good because that balance of the three powers helps them tell different stories. And like I said, even up to the end, they're still focusing on on the small people while also facing the big threat. It's really good.
Yeah, it doesn't just abandon that for the sake of mech battles each week. It does.
Yeah.
The battles that do feel significant and poignant and for a reason each time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And we'll have to see where this goes 2 seasons from now.
I gotta be honest, I stalled on this. I do want to continue watching it. I got to episode 9 and need to continue it. Yeah. I want to continue it, don't get me wrong, but I just find that apart from the main kid protagonist, who I'm going to call Kid, right?
Amo. Kid.
Protagonist with weird hair. His hair is weird.
With pigtails, right?
Those are not pigtails. Those are weird bead tails, floating.
Fine, bead tails, right? The other two. Oh my God. The other two protagonists. I just feel are cardboard cutouts. Like there's nothing to them. There's no depth to them whatsoever. You could literally just, put a cardboard cutout and carry it around with you wherever you want, because like the character, they feel so shallow in terms of motivation, right? It's just like there's one episode where there's what's it called, brotherly love sort of thing. There is a conflict of interest between siblings. Yeah. And the cardboard cutout is still just as fucking deep as a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, so for all of the good development they do on the main character in this, you mean the super serious secondary assistant character?
Yeah, and girl, Pottery Girl.
Yeah, Pottery. The thing is, Pottery Girl has been in it a lot less because she came in later. Yeah, so there is that as a fair thing to it, and I'm sure that she'll get a moment. But the other guy has been in it like episode 2, I think.
Yeah,
and though they try, he's actually had. I don't know if the girls had an episode, but we actually got like his episode where he's dealing with his brother.
Yeah,
and nothing really happens. You didn't see him cry or complain or anything. He just stays in his super, I don't know, robot mode, plank of wood mode the whole way through. Even when he discovers his brother's threat, it doesn't. We needed like his brother to attack him or for him to have a emotional moment, but he is literally just, I am secondary protagonist plank.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's the problem I have with this show, is the fact that the mech designs, apart from the faces, look amazing, right? The political intrigue is really interesting.
It's really nice that it's drawn rather than 3D animated. I just want to point that out.
Yes.
Yeah, there's that too. There is that too. The politics about how the resistance is being funded, right?
Yes. Yep.
Again, really interesting, but the characters are just so, I wouldn't even say wooden. They are just cardboard cutouts. Because you can draw tears on a cardboard cutout, right? But a plank of wood is just a plank of wood, right?
I get the feeling that that's going to change a little bit in the second half.
That's my other feeling, is that the main plot and the emotional.
I'm not going to give away why, but I really get the feeling, based on the end of this season or this half of the season, I really think that they're going to give room for those two, because they've grown a little bit. Even in just the episodes that you missed, not a huge amount. Like they're still pretty much right up until the end the same people, but I think there's now room for them to grow and change. I hope anyway, because I do think that's a very valid concern that they're it does really focus on our main character's journey and not the other two, but it really should, because they are also part of the crew. It's like trilogy. What do you call that? A triumvirate?
Team.
A team. Yeah, team. There you go. Team. There you go.
But they are just it's like their actions are just window dressing.
Yeah.
To the protagonist. Like
there's a tiny bit of development, but not a huge amount. Yeah, you're right.
Like, the main protagonist has gone through a lot. Like you experience a lot through him, but just not enough.
The first 3 episodes of his were really good. And then, no, in fact, like the first 5 episodes, like the first 3 episodes, are really good. He's going on his journey, with the boat that he gets given, and those people who protect him and don't think that's really cool. Seeing him progress, and he joins the group, but he doesn't want to join it, and he leaves, and he comes back. And the person who dies, I can't remember the name. How he handles that, how he tries to, make amends to it by seeing their friends and everything, and he starts seeing the meaning of him. All of that stuff.
It's really well done.
You might as well just make the other mechs AI controlled. Just get rid of the pilots for the other 2.
Yeah,
like that. His is the only one that's a piloted mech. That would be really interesting.
I really do think that you should finish it though, because
I will.
There is definitely a little bit of growth even in this season. So they're moving towards that. Hopefully, I think part of the problem is that these other 2 characters have already had their growth off screen, so those their characteristics are set now. Until X moment that happens at the end of the season or mid-season that now gives them...
I gotta fight you on that.
Yeah.
Because it's not growth
if you don't see it.
If you start at point A, if you're introducing the character, this is the character at point A, and then by the end of it, still at point A.
Well, no, see, I'm saying that their quote-unquote growth happened before the series started.
But I'm saying it can't be growth.
Right. It's not growth for us because we haven't seen it. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen on screen.
I will call it growth if there's a flashback showing it.
Okay. Right.
But if they are introduced as a wet blanket, and by the end of it, they're still a wet blanket, there is no growth.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But they're not. It's like this guy, he's already like super serial man. Who's like Plank, but he's super serial.
His father was killed, and so that set him on this path to become super serious for revenge. I must only focus on revenge.
Revengy, right?
Yeah, revenge. Yeah.
Okay.
I think like we're gonna say, we're gonna have to wait till two seasons from now. We'll get back to this one.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Should we move on to the next one?
Loz, what do you want?
I will go for Fruit of Evolution.
Oh, God.
Evolution. This one will be quick and easy. I watched the show, so this is an isekai. It is... There's nothing special here, I want to point that out. It's very simple. Bare bones isekai where a whole classroom is transferred, but one character is the special character who gets sent somewhere else, and special things happen to him that make him basically the bestest ever by pure luck. I really enjoyed the first 6 or 7 episodes of this show, maybe 5 or 6 actually. I can't really remember. 5 or 6 episodes when it's. Drew's gonna tell me it's no, it's even less, isn't it? It's
2.
4 episodes.
It's 2.
2. I don't know. They felt like a lot longer. I really enjoyed the start of this show, and the really interesting stuff was in the characters developing with eating the fruit of evolution, which barely comes back as a thing. Then you do more with that. And his journey and his development as a person, and obviously he becomes OP really quickly. But even just as a character, he starts becoming more open. He doesn't seem to reflect on it much, but he does become more extroverted and outgoing and not scared of things and does things for himself. And the fact that he starts helping others, and it's that's a really interesting character. It's really fun because of that. So yeah, it's also got some fun moments as he slowly discovers his world, and we get the different. Characters which are going to become his team. Not all of his harem, because one's clearly this little girl, still going to join on with him. But the moment
this is Japan, that matters.
Headcanon. I'm going with my headcanon. Anyway, his little girl. There's a really cool moment where the pink gorilla girl turns into a human form, and her as in human form plus the main character, and it's almost like mother, dad, and child, because this girl's an assassin, and it was like they all sort of family. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. That was good. But the moment we get to the town, and it just slows to a crawl, really. No. When we get to town, it's kind of okay, we're in the town now and we're doing things. Can we leave the town and go on a journey, go on an adventure and do some adventure stuff? And then we go to the castle. That's when it really falls. It came down a peg when we went to the town, but when it got to the castle, it just gave up all pretense of being anything interesting, and it was just oh, what is this? Just utter...
The castle?
The castle, yes. He gets pulled to the castle. Right, he after he wins the race with the donkey.
Oh, okay. And
the donkey becomes human. Because he won the race, he gets to go spend time with the Valkyries at the castle. And then the show just gives up. It's just so boring and just utterly pure, blandest isekai at that point. He's just so OP. He literally can just say random words and make the ultimate spell that does whatever he wants it to do. I think he says "don't hurt" and he makes a spell which cures something. Oh, it's just so weak. And a bit like with Spider, but it does spend sparingly not throwing names at us all the time, so you can actually at least appreciate it. It just focuses on 3 of the other classmates rather than the whole group. The other classmates are at some magic academy, which we occasionally go over to. There's no point putting spoilers. This show's not worth it. It really isn't. Dina will agree. But it does do a better job than this than Spider did. So in Spider, we kept flashing to other members of the school that have been isekai'd, and it gives us all their names, and you're like, okay, who was you? And this just goes, okay, the other classmates are all with these other people being sort of controlled, and also they get sent to a magic academy. And at the magic academy, we literally follow like 3. I'm like, I can follow this because I have a touchstone. It's these 3 characters, and we're doing just these 3 characters, and I don't even need to know the names, but it's girl and 2 boys that follow her. That's it. And it just there's like, and it's just explaining that they're like something going on or what's going on at the academy, and we're waiting for our main character, who is literally God at this point in ability level by the end of the show. Literally, he just he is absolute everything maxed, bajillion things. Just I'm sure he can start smiting things. I think in like episode 6 or 7, he kills like the toughest monster in the game, or the monster in the world, pretty easily.
So no, it's 4.
He's Ainz Al Ghul.
It's 4.
Don't say that's 4.
It is 4.
Let me believe there was more to this show. That's the thing. So, like, episode like 1 to 5 then is actually really good, and then 6 to 12 I can literally remember barely anything of. It's just dragged out to pointlessness.
Can I read through my notes? Can I just go through my clip notes?
That's pretty much it. Apart from, I just want to finish. It finishes on with, let's go to the academy. I'm like, I was waiting for this 5 episodes ago. That was it.
Right. I'm going to blitz through my notes. Right. So apologies if you've enjoyed this. Honestly, I did not. I thought this was awful, right? By the end of it, I was massively disappointed.
Were you? I swear at the start, because I only watched it after you told, it's okay, there's some stuff happening.
Yeah, the first couple of episodes are actually quite interesting. But after that, it's just like, what is this shit?
Yeah. Well, no, it's pure bland. It's bland. So that's the problem.
No, was it one episode? He gets 2 of his harem in one episode.
He doesn't.
No, she is still a love interest. I don't care what you say, right? She still wants to do him, right? Just because she gets sent away because it's her military duty, she still wants to do him, right?
I literally think that when you say he gets 2, he doesn't. It's over 2 episodes, because at the start of the episode he gets the last episode was about the donkey. The start of that episode, or the crossover between that episode, the donkey is now in human form. He then gets dragged to the Valkyries. There's one. And but he already got her. He was riding the donkey in the previous episode.
Yeah, but the donkey was like, I can't get in on this. I have no opportunity. Oh, no, I'm a girl now. I can get in on this action.
Right, and then in the next episode, he beats the Valkyrie leader woman sword girl. But that's it. You think that's it? He's gotten a second character in that. Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, but she's master. I want you to be my master.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, right. So the animation is honestly sloppy and lazy in a lot of places.
I do hope we get a season 2, because the reason we want a season 2 of this, because they couldn't have spent any money doing this. So come on, Mike, it's going to be cheap.
Where's the money gone?
Give us a second season, because it's going to be cheap to do. Sure.
The plot is all over the place, as mentioned in this. Loz thinking, this really cool part that happens at episode 7. No, it's episode 2. Loz. No, it's going to be episode 5. No, honestly, it's episode.
Yeah, it was episode 2. It's like, but it was so good. Yes, I know.
The first half of the season wasn't so bad, but the second half is effective. It effectively became a fan fiction of the author, where the main character can literally invent magical spells. There is one magical spell, which is what was it like? It's just called Lincoln or something like that. It's after Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. Yeah. It says Lincoln.
Yeah. It's like he makes up a spell to break a cursed item, and he calls it effectively Abraham Lincoln, and it's just you are making shit up.
Is the item used to enslave people or something?
Yes.
No.
All right.
So the thing with the making up spells is he has to visualize what it is, and his brain hops to weird points, and he just says it. And so he thinks about enslavement in his mind. Pops just Abraham Lincoln.
I get that.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Freezes spells. What was the one about healing? He has to heal the king, and he just says like,
I was like, feel better.
Feel better, and then that makes the ultimate healing spell that heals a curse, which is an unbreakable curse of death, and he just breaks it with that. And then I can't remember what he says for the final fight that they have, where literally there is an unstoppable horde of enemy, and he just says like one thing, and he comes up with a spell which will kill all of your opposing enemies.
You know, Lady Justice.
What it will do.
Where she is blind, she has a sword in one hand and the scales in the other. Like, so basically, he pictures Lady Justice, and she raises her hand up, the sword up in the air, and then giant beams of light just annihilate anything that is quote unquote harmful to the user, which actually targets the BDSM group as well,
and then they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like that was a really good. Like, if it was more of that sort of level of jokes, that'd be great. But it's just so bland up until you get those occasional, it's just then it moves on. It's like, focus, please.
Another point is that I've got here. The intro is so poorly put together, and basically tells you the entire events of the series, right? Also, the pink-haired girl that, whenever you see her in the entire... She's got the world's smallest nose in absolutely every single shot, apart from the last shot of the fucking intro, where she's got the biggest schnoz you've ever fucking seen.
It's a side-on shot, and I can't unsee it now. And it's just like... why
massive!
Is it so massive, yeah. And the annoying thing I don't like about the show is the whole show is called Fruit of Evolution. Right, and it's an important premise at the start, and then they do bring it back to do one thing with a donkey, but it's never evolved. It never expands that premise. What does the fruit? Where did it come from? What does it mean?
So
will this mean anything else for our character apart from he just is OP now?
The full title is Fruit of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. Right, that's the full title. I'm sorry, it should be called. He became a bullshit protagonist after eating some nuts on the floor.
But no. Some nuts that I stole from some monkeys.
There you go. Some nuts. And they're called fruit. They're fucking nuts. Right? Like, he eats them like an apple. They look like a fucking coconut. Sorry, no, not a coconut. A walnut.
Yeah.
It's just like... no breaking of the shell. You just eat it like a fucking. And like
they say an interesting thing, like you can't eat 10 of these, and luckily he was good. He only had 10.
No, you can't eat more than 10. You can't
eat more than 10. But like, it'd be interesting to have that explained. Like maybe he'd be forced to eat at 11th or something, or that'd be an interesting premise, or just have something going on with the fruit stuff.
There is things. No point in the other school kids, because it's just a wait. I don't know if this is getting a second season, right? If it is, like,
it better.
May God have mercy on their souls.
It better just be like, this is like the fast food of anime. But it's just so bland and cheap.
We got another one like that.
But no. But it's not like good fast. It's not high quality.
Oh no. This is not like store brand. This is like Burger Van.
Let's talk about
no. This is moving van fast food.
Yes,
like a sport event. Those vans that drive up.
Yeah,
like that level of fast food.
It's like a corn dog from the state fair. Sorry, I had one of those in RDL. I don't even know what meat it was. I just don't think it was meat. Anyway, but it just felt. So, I'm gonna hit the spoilers because I just want to talk about how utterly bullshit.
The show doesn't deserve spoilers.
Hit it. I don't know if it's gonna actually do it or not.
I'm just gonna wait because it'll do it. If I press it, it'll do. Yep, there you go.
There, right, okay. So like at the very end, because our protagonist fucking invents in front of like the world's greatest magician, in front of fucking Gandalf, like he creates a brand new spell. Gandalf turns around and asks, could you teach it at my magic academy? And then he's like, well, no, because I don't want to leave my harem behind. Don't worry, they can come along as well. She can be a schoolgirl, she can be a teacher, teacher, she can be a schoolgirl and a martial arts teacher, and she can be your servant maid assistant girl.
Goodness gracious.
I'm sorry. That was just so fucking contrived. Why do they have to be part of the school as well?
It just gonna be. Don't worry, they can come too, and I'll give you a big room so they can all live with you. Was the correct answer to that? Instead, we got, oh no, they will all do different things. Like, why?
Yeah, why wasn't it even a concern? If he's teaching at the school, won't he be making money that he can use to get a house that they can live in with him?
Well, he has more money than the son, apparently.
Yeah. What's the problem? Why? Oh.
Yeah, so it's really weird. At the end, it is a kind of interesting thing. It doesn't do much with it, but at the end of each episode, you actually get like a list of his abilities, stats, and everything, and it lists money on there. And he has like billions of money, billions of units of currency.
I honestly, I do not want to see a second season to this. I don't want to see a second. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't want to see it. All right, should we move on?
If we can get a second season of what is it? World's Strongest thingy, Arteria Shikoku Disaka.
Oh god!
We can get a second season of that. We can get a second season of Fruit of Evolution, man.
But expect it to look like stick figures. Right?
Oh hell yeah! I love it though.
Okay.
It's fun,
is it? It's my go now, isn't it? Because that was
that was Loz's. Yeah, even though you ended up talking a lot. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to. It's too bad.
It's fine.
Right. Oh, okay. So I'm on Komi and Blue Period then. I'm gonna do Blue Period. Right. So I really like this series. I don't think that.
Okay, hang on. Before you do this, right? It's 12 episodes, yeah?
Yes.
Does it resolve itself within that 12 episodes?
Yes.
Do you think it needs a second season?
Doesn't need, it deserves.
But it could have a second season, but it doesn't need one. It resolves itself pretty well, yeah. I assume it's like, as I recall, it's all about them going to arts, trying to get into art school, not actually
university. Yeah,
university. Yeah. So you could have a second season at university, I suppose.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So right. I really liked this series. It really showed it is very difficult to describe this. So feel free to interject words wherever you think appropriate. It's really interesting to see the flow of a student's life as they are trying to work their way up to getting into school. Right? As they are applying for exams, they are trying to, do entrance exams and things. It was really interesting seeing all of that, right? It was interesting seeing the way that you can appreciate art. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't 100% get how you appreciate art. I do appreciate art, but there are people that appreciate it on a much higher level than I do. It was also really interesting seeing how characters would interact with each other, because it is very much I kind of want to say it's kind of a slice of life.
But that life is the life of an aspiring student.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas a lot of the time, slice of life shows like Lucky Star or Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, it is just like, people doing their daily lives. The daily life of these students are trying to aspire to get into art university. So it is slice of life, but with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Slice of life focused on art.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also shows the life struggles of different individuals. It shows how some people refuse to follow their dream until they are pushed in the direction. Sometimes the dream just hits you like, a pie to the face. Like you don't know what you want to do with your life in the slightest until you see this one thing. You're like, fuck, I want to do that. And you give it your all. And I think one of the things they say in this is you only, fail. Sorry, no, you only finished. Oh shit, what was it? I can't remember the line, but effectively, you only finish art when you stop making it. Right? You know, you only stop trying when you stop making. Oh God, sorry, I can't remember the line.
Is it kind of like how a lot of artists will look at something they've made and go, I could make this better, and then
yes,
but there has to be a point where you have to stop.
Yes, it's like a simpler way of looking at this is like, you know, aspiring YouTubers, right? Oh, I failed at YouTube. You only failed because you stopped doing YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's basically the line. Yeah, you only failed at art because you stopped doing it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. You could always get better. You could always eventually make it as long as you keep trying, in theory. But the moment you have stopped making art or improving, then you can't. Yeah, you have failed.
Yeah,
you have failed.
I get that.
Yeah, this will not appeal to everyone, but personally, I really enjoyed this. I really liked this different pace. It actually felt like all the characters had emotion behind them, right? They all wanted to try and succeed. They were all moved by, you know, different things. They're all trying to get on with their lives. Sometimes they had their heads so wrapped up in their own worlds that they couldn't see things from an outside perspective. And it was only until they were forced into seeing it from an outside perspective. Like, so one of the characters in this...
You want to hit spoilers?
Yeah, actually I will. Good catch, Batman. So one of the characters in this series is a cross-dresser. Right, he is. So you know they like to go by she.
Is that
right?
in the one scene that's been popping up with the three girls? Is that the one that's kind of I don't want to say mannish, but mannish with the black short hair?
No, it's long blonde hair.
Oh, long blonde hair.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So and she's trying to find herself. Right, she's trying to accept herself for who she is, but at the same time she is getting nothing but shit from her parents, right? Her parents are constantly abusing her, like, you know, smacking her and things like this, you know, be a boy kind of thing. And you know, at one point in time you turn up and all her stuff has been thrown away. And the main protagonist, so she was going to art university as well, but she just dropped out. She was doing the first test, she put a cross on the canvas and then upped and left immediately, right? She just gave up immediately because of the way she's been treated by everyone else, and she's felt betrayed by some of her close friends because they've not given her the time of day since she's, you know, wanted to be treated differently, right? And you know, the main protagonist has to stop literally everything he is doing. He's got an exam in 2 days' time to effectively run away with her to give her the time to process who she is. That they go to like the coast and they got like no plans whatsoever. They go to a beach and like it's like, okay, we're here now. I was like, well, I didn't plan any further ahead, so they have to book a hotel or it's kind of like Airbnb, right? This is this character here. So she goes through hell of a lot, and you kind of get the outside perspective of what she's going through. And again, it makes a very interesting story, as it is. She feels that it's just herself kind of thing that is going through this, but everyone is going through this, and you get to see the different perspectives. You even get to see one of the other characters of the main. It's like one of the other side friends you rarely get to spend any time with, like what he goes through and what he decides because the main protagonist has decided to follow his dream of art. So it's, again, I don't think this is for everyone, but I felt this is such a good series. It is very deep. I don't know how else to best sell it.
Yeah, that I definitely want to check that out. Actually, it does.
It's very different. I will say though, it was very hard to keep up with because I don't feel Netflix is the best platform for anime, because when the episodes would come out, it wouldn't necessarily go, hey, a new episode is out. And I ended up binge watching the last, I think, 3 or 4 episodes today to make sure I'd actually watched it for this. Honestly, I really enjoyed this. It was really, really good. And if you're into this sort of thing, do check it out. Sorry, it's a hard sell.
No, but I think it's very interesting with it's more of a character story than...
Yes, very much character development. That's a very good point. Very much about the character development, not just... And like, again, looking at I find it so interesting. In the UK, when you're applying for university, you do your exams, your A-levels, and then it's based on your A-levels whether or not you get into university. But in Japan, you have entrance exams. Mm-hmm. You have to do exams to get into that institution.
Yeah, the most we'd have would be a entry interview sort of thing. We do.
Yeah, that's the most we would have. Yeah, but they actually have full blown exams and things. Yeah, so very, very interesting. All right, I've probably bored Loz to sleep.
No, it's nice to see something a bit different.
Yeah, should we move on to the next one then?
Well, so in a weird way, you're talking about how these students have passion for what they're doing, and this show is also all about passion. It really nicely dovetails together, don't you think? It's a similar... No, it's completely different. This show is absolutely insane. It's so weird. I don't know if it's good. I know that I enjoyed it, and I even liked the ending. I thought the ending had a really good message. Tino hated it.
I'll stop. No, you do yours, and then I'll say.
I understand. I understand your perspective. I feel like it took them a little too long to get to the point where all the 3 battery girls were together and synced up. I think I get why they did that, because they needed it to
last the season.
Yes and no. Yeah, well, essentially, yeah, because they needed him to finally be synced up with all of them at the end, not before the end. Because otherwise it wouldn't have been quite so impactful when they start doing what they do with their Garanndoll. But essentially, it's a story about how passion can overcome violence and fear and distrust. And how our main character has buried his own passion, which is why he's an empty shell of a man. I guess I could get into a few spoilers, though.
I described this.
Yeah.
I was going to say, before hit spoilers, does Zeno want to describe it himself?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just throw it in spoilers.
No spoilers. I basically said the biggest failing of this series is that it tried to take itself too seriously rather than embrace the full weeb.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It started out with the full weeb, and then it kind of took a more serious turn. We instead of having just one instance of, but who am I really? We ended up having 4. And it was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, can we not, please, for the love of God? I liked the general premise, but it really felt that the show fell short, right? The biggest problem that while it was attempting to be funny, at the same time it was trying to be serious, and this really stunted the growth of the series. I wrote notes for this one. The premise of having the pilot synchronize with the mecha, or in this case the battery girls, it's been done before, right? However, it feels weak that the pilot is a host from a host club, right, instead of a straight up weeb, which they have a mountain of, right? Like, you know, all these battery girls, they have fans. Just plug one of them into the fucking Mac. There you go. I don't understand why it has to be this host. Did you watch it all the way to the end?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I mean, they do kind of explain why he works out so well.
Right. Well, I think it's time to hit the spoilers.
Hold on.
Go ahead and finish your
Yeah, sorry. The last part was an argument could be made that the weebs are dying out, but they literally have an army of weebs fawning over the battery girls every which way. That was my last point. So yeah, let's smack the spoilers on.
Sure, go for it. So I found it to be more about the themes than the actual plot in this one, and the themes were: your passion is good, don't deny your passion. And part of Hosamichi's problem was that he was denying his passion, which made him empty, which made him also the perfect receptacle for other people's passion. Which worked, but it only really came together when he finally realized that he needed to embrace his own passion again, let it out, let it show, don't hide it. Which was like, it's basically the theme of the whole show. Even at the very end, when they finally defeat the true army, the guy's like, how could this happen? We're so good, but our world is in turmoil, and you're so filled with fantasy, and somehow you find peace. It really is that level of storytelling. It's not really so much about the mech and the people. I mean, it is a little bit about the people. It is, of course, about the people. But it's not about their journey as much as it is trying to show how passion is good, how embracing your weebness is good.
But the problem is that the host, right? I call him the host because he is effectively the anti-weeb. He doesn't want to be a weeb because of the trauma his father puts him through, right?
But that's why his transformation is the most powerful.
Yes, but it's the fucking last one to... No, but it's the last one to happen... Right? It should have been the first one, because realistically, I don't understand this whole, like, oh, he is a host and he can, host the passion of all. So, Loz, for your benefit, right? It turns out his father was the creator of a bunch of the different weeb things that the girls are interested in. Right? And his father effectively walked out on him and his mother because he was more about work than his family, right? And his mum died, and I think he basically turned up to pay the medical, and that was it, right? And basically he ditched his own son, right?
Yeah.
And that is the trauma that the host carries, which to me would instantly say, well, he can't possibly be a good receptacle for the passion of all these other girls' interests, because their interests are what he hates.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really hate them. He deep down, he really loves it. He puts on this air that he hates it.
But it feels like that wouldn't... It's trying to take itself too seriously. And if you're trying to take yourself that seriously, there is nowhere on earth that level of trauma can be cured by embrace the weeb.
Well, I think the idea was that the other girls showed him that passion can be good, and it's okay to let it out.
Let out the weeb within.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just like
I do agree that it should have focused more. I thought it was going to focus more on the comedy, and it really kind of
doesn't
started going towards the serious end. Yeah,
and it didn't kind of start. It should have gone to... It started in the serious. It took half a step into the comedy, and then wouldn't take any further steps.
Yeah,
right. That was the problem, and I really think it should have just gone full weep. I mean, they spent 2 episodes per battery girl,
Yeah, that was a bit much. Yeah.
It was... So 6 episodes of this 12/13 episode series was wasted on forming the relationships with the Battery Girls. Then you have
in a different show that would be fine, where where it starts out from the beginning with this whole, it's a very serious theme, because then you can get into character study sort of thing. But this wasn't really that show.
What they should have been doing is like using their mech to sneak around and stealing shit, right? Oh, they have like this train that's full of like, no game, no life merch. We have to steal this. So what we've got to do is we've got to fly in parallel, and we've got to like uncouple the train carriages and steal the train carriage that has all the no game, no life merch, right? That would have been fucking funny, right? That would have been entertaining. But no, they had to keep this fucking serious.
Summer in red.
Oh my god! Yeah, so
it's a case of the same thing we're going to hopefully get next season, where I'm totally going to watch this with World. I think it's World End Harem, which is this is the most amazing slapstick setup you could ever make, and this would be a comedy, and you're going to play this straight for some reason. Where this show would have been great if it played it like I don't quite understand or understand the setting of this episode, but let's say, as you were saying, like trying to get the no game, no life merch from a train, that maybe there's there's this one remaining special edition figurine of this character
that
where
sort
you
of
could
thing.
remove.
Yes, they actually do that.
We spent the whole episode trying to recover this one remaining statue, sort of thing, and then
they do that with a song. They do that with one of the songs for the Idol Girl, but that's it. That's as close as they come to that.
But
do they?
Yeah, because it's the only song that exists, and it was never released. It was only recorded and hidden away somewhere, and there's only one copy of it. And he uses that to bring Rin back to help them.
But they don't steal it. It's the side character that steals it, isn't it? It's the thief guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the problem, though. That they steal all this stuff, but it's always done off screen, right? It would have been so much more interesting if the group was helping the stealing. We need to run a distraction while another operative goes and steals shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, they fluffed it.
On the bright side, I don't think there'll be a second season. I think the way they ended it, there could be a second season where they go to alternate Tokyo and spread their passion there, but I don't think they're going to.
I think they could do a second season, and I think the second season would be decent because they've gotten past all the bullshit, right? So of all the serious bullshit. So there shouldn't be anything blocking them from just having like a good narrative instead of just character development. Anyway. Should we? Did I just turn it on again? You turn it off.
Okay, there we go.
I think you guys have summarized that one up. Yep. So let's move on.
I think it's Loz's.
Loz's turn. I believe you've only got one left, don't you?
No, Nasuth just did Rumble Garanndoll.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got last one, which I'm sure Drew will want to get onto, which is Mushoku Tensei. Now, I wanted to say that we should move on to other things and save this to last, because this is highly rated for this season, and it totally deserves it. This season, obviously, we're progressing on our story of Rudius Greyrat, as he has been isekai'd into a magical world, and he is progressing after the events of season 1. He's a bit more on his own, or separated from the stability that he didn't really even realize he had in season 1. And
so is only the first half of season 2 out?
No, it's all that.
No. So Loz keeps doing this, right? It's part 2.
Season 2.
Right?
Season 2.
No, it's not season 2. It's part 2. It's part 2 of season 1.
Shake my fine, whatever. The second 12 episodes is how I'm going to speak.
Okay, I've actually just started 12. That. They have the
even though
the
first 11 episodes or whatever, I don't know. The second release, this bloody show, it's awesome. The show is awesome. It doesn't matter how you label it. You're labeling awesome. Arose by any other name, Xeno. Arose by any other name.
Still awesome.
So yeah. So it is a really interesting character study as well. It does really good. It spends a really good amount of time on the characters. They're all deep. They're not superficial. We have interesting things going on, interesting quirks and turns. And also the other thing it gets is that you don't. I'm gonna save it for spoilers, but this show, obviously, you think isekai we're going to be doing things the whole time. This show takes the time to slow down and do important things with its characters, and it feels
you say
so
slow
meaningful.
down, but it doesn't actually feel slow because there's still things happening. They're still advancing
things are happening,
the narrative in some way.
Yeah, but it's still giving the time. Like a lesser show would have skipped over some key moments and just moved on to the next set piece, moved on to the next interesting moment. But this show takes the time to have and it does slow down. It does it'll have lingering views on characters as they sit and stare at things, and it's meaningful.
I was going to say, I just
this one from season 1. This is my favorite examples of it, where we have literally 4 characters sitting in a room over the intro credits, because this doesn't get intro credits, and that is still adding to the show because you're feeling the tension in the room just from characters sitting and staring. So this kind of quality from the first 11 episodes is definitely carried over onto this new batch of 12 episodes, and it does such a good job. It even goes beyond. This is what, seriously, I've rewatched the scene so many times because it's really cool on so many levels, and it does better than this, and this is so good. It is a really great anime. Probably I feel it's the best thing at this season, probably. And and then I don't want to get into spoilers. I don't want to get really too much into spoilers because
I haven't finished it yet. Yeah, I just got to the part where they're trying to get across the sea, and the one guy that's with them is like, we can't do this the wrong way. We have to do this properly. And so our main character is going to go it's not really a spoiler because it's so early on. He's going to go sell his staff to try and make the money to get them across, and it's that sort of level of, and there's like a whole little scene where the guy finds him and they talk it out, and it's that level of characters.
It's very personal.
Yeah,
is what it does.
Yeah,
you feel you're there with them, and you feel the closeness and things. But so it's really good that I want to save it for Nasuth, but I want to say, because there's another reason why I want to do it over Xeno this bit, that I remember watching the first release of the first half of season 1. I think that's how Xeno wants to say it, which was, as I believe, 11 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Xeno, going like, "Where's the 12th episode? There isn't going to be one," and I was like, "Oh my god, no fair, give me more," because that felt like. It did feel like that wasn't a good stopping point. I wanted more for that scenario. Whereas this one, obviously I still want more, but it does feel like a complete point to be like, bam, we're going to stop you there. And it's like, oh yeah, I get it. It's really cool. We've, an arc has been completed. Maybe not to everyone's satisfaction, but it has been completed. It's like, bam, definite thing has happened. And now this is be leading on to whatever comes next. I'm like, oh yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, I don't know if Xena wants to add anything without spoiling for Nasuth to it.
So I
want Nasuth to go watch it right after this. Yes.
I've got a Firefox tab with it open.
So I am really
pause the recording now. Go watch it. We'll come back.
No. So I'm really impressed with this show. The character growth is phenomenal. The way it is written, it effectively has everything that Fruit of Evolution doesn't have, right? And I'm not trying to be mean to Fruit of Evolution, but they do so many good things. Like they spend episodes on other characters as opposed to just the main troupe, right? Other characters that you've experienced in part 1 that they're separated, so that you get it's again really, really well put together. And well, the screenshot.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah. It's also incredible, like, how not everything goes to plan, and they have to get around. Sometimes they have to be rescued, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes, they have to work their way out. Sometimes they could just force their way out. Like, it's.
I mean, he is kind of a prodigy, but he's not OP.
No, he is OP, but he is not. He is still fallible in a lot of ways, and he is still a child. Yeah. And at the same time, he can still fall foul of his own hubris and his own belief and his overcompensation or his own ideas that make himself trip up, and he can be his own worst enemy at the same time. So, you can have characters that can do that. It's pretty good.
One thing I kind of want to touch upon is the vocal minority that hates this series.
Well, some people can. That's perfectly fine. I don't think there could exist a show that every single person on the planet would enjoy. I don't think it should exist. And I like that some people don't like it, because that means we're getting variety. That's good. Healthy.
The weird thing is that they don't like it based on either something I completely glazed over, or something that's being interpreted in a specific way.
Oh, I think I know what it might be, but okay.
What do you think it is?
I do remember seeing some people complaining that Rudy was in some way grooming Eris, even though he was an adult and technically she was a child because of his mind.
Right. Okay. I'm not entirely sure if that's the specific instance.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, people call him out for being a pedophile and things like this. And I think that there was supposed to be something he was watching at the start of the first episode before he got isekai'd.
I don't think it's ever said, but no, there's a point after the parents' funeral where his other siblings come into the house, kick him out, and I don't know what he was watching, but they say, like, you pervert. One comes in, looks at the screen as they kick him out, and they do say that kind of thing, as if whatever he was watching or doing on the screen was
but any hentai could
exactly.
Yeah.
It might be described in the manga though, a bit specifically what he was watching or something. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just like, so it's kind of interesting to me that even though this series is widely renowned for being like top quality stuff, and like, some people just absolutely hate on it for, I think, some of the most silly reasons.
Without saying the specifics, are you talking about the stuff that happened towards the end?
No. We've already touched the stuff. Like it's people saying like he's grooming.
It's that kind of stuff in general.
Same thing with the demon girl, right? When he first meets her, and he's like, and she almost gives him her body, right? Yeah.
Wait, demon girl?
The one that gives him the demon eye.
I don't remember the body.
The picture girl that was just in the last one.
Yeah, I know.
He says since he saved her, she's like, oh, you can have I'll give you a wish. And he's like, okay, I want money. She's like, I don't have any money. I want half the world. I want to rule half the world. Well, I don't own the world, so I can't give you half of it. Okay, well, I guess you'll just have to pay with your body. And she's like, okay. And she starts to pull down her pants. And she's like, oh, wait, I forgot I'm married in this incarnation. And that's when she finally gives him the demon eye.
Okay.
Right. I kind of missed that.
And he was just like drooling over the opportunity because he's a pervert. It's in character.
Fair enough. You picked up on that better than I did.
Well, I just watched that episode.
But then he stops her, doesn't he? He stops her, saying,
No, she stops.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
But she was on board for it to begin with. But anyway,
yeah.
Regardless
again,
of all
she's potentially not even a child. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
He's a reincarnated ancient demon. Or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
But again, like, wait, no, you haven't. Sorry, I'm going to spoil something very tiny for you, Nasuth.
Okay.
But like in the, I think the very next episode for you, there's this one elf woman who literally, like, they are out to find our group of travelers, and this one elf woman who's she's asking around and things. She's basically getting into orgies.
Oh my god!
She just seems to walk around and be like, "I'm gonna have an orgy now." And it's like, okay, aren't we supposed to be doing this?
God.
Yeah, I'll do that. Going over there. Why? There's men over there.
I can ask them.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
But I'll have an orgy first. And like, yeah,
while having an orgy.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, there are different people out there that have like different interests, different, you know, not everyone is oh god, you know, some people can be very shy about sex, but others, like fucking Rudy here, right, you know, is very open-minded. Like, fuck, was it like the first episode he's running around as a little baby wearing pants on his face. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, it's just different. I think it's a crying shame that some people won't give this a chance, because I'm going to ask Loz a very serious question now.
What?
You have to pay full attention now.
Okay.
Which is better?
I won't be playing 3 app games at the same time.
Yeah, please hold that for a second, right?
Well, they added that auto farm feature in Sinnoh.
I know, it's so good, isn't it?
So good.
But right.
Yeah.
But which is better?
Okay.
Mushoku Tensei or Rising of the Shield Hero?
Ooh.
They've both had roughly the same amount of episodes now.
I think it's like the hardest question.
Having not finished it, I'd probably say Rising, but
I love Shield Hero.
You love it.
I'd probably say Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Mushoku Tensei. I love Shield Hero. I've seen it through at least 4 or 5, 6, 7 times all the way through or something. I will just randomly go, oh yeah, wasn't that really cool bit in it? And then like watch that really cool bit, then bounce to another cool bit later, and then go, you know what, I'm going to watch the whole thing again. And then watch the whole thing again quite often. So I've done that. Mushoku Tensei though, the quality of the world building, the progression of the character, the depth of the characters, it goes into so much depth. I could tell you the backstory of almost every character with a name that we meet in the show, and I could give you like an episode's worth of talk about them, what they think, what they feel, how they react, what I'd expect them to do in a certain scenario, what they're probably going to hopefully, what I think they might end up doing, you know, down the line, you know, things. I can't do that with most shows. It really does do a good job of setting up the characters. You know, if you wanted to watch this for just the pure action, there's actually not that much really.
Yeah.
And I would really like to see, like, you haven't had that many. I want to see a fight where Rudy just goes all out and not up against somebody absolutely ridiculous or whatever, but someone who'd be like on par, maybe not on par with him, maybe like him versus a horde of people or something. You know, I'd love to see him, what is his full capability. You never really get that. I don't think you do anyway. You know, you do get some quite a few fights, but they're just not.
They're over quite quickly.
Yeah. I think we got some more. In fact, you know, season 1 ones versus the giant monsters. That was in the first 12 episodes, first half, whatever. That, you know, the more of that, you know, more stuff like that, and so we don't get a hell of a lot of that. But I still feel it's quite a good show and everything. So though I do love Shield Hero, this does push
giant
out
monsters?
on just. Yeah, there's the bit in the first half of the season when they're following those other group out, and then they're going to save them, and then Rudy holds Rigid back. He's like, "Oh no, we'll get to their like on there." 2. Is that part 2?
Yeah, because they get.
Is that part 2?
I don't remember. If it is part 2, I haven't seen it yet.
Part 1 ends when they effectively get teleported to the demon country.
Yeah,
the demon continent. They meet up with Rigid, right? I can't remember his name. Yeah.
I remember a big fight at the end of part 1.
Did we get
Yeah.
I don't remember there being a big fight at the end of part. I could have sworn it ended on that the fireplace talk, and they're talking about heading back to Central Kingdom Land. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember.
I'll have a quick look. But either way, we're just debating tiny points there.
Yes. Yeah. It's honestly, it's a fantastic series.
But sorry, I found it. It's literally the last it's the 11th episode.
Oh, okay. But there's really interestingly, there's 2 episodes that we're going to be really cryptic about that truly.
Are we now?
Yeah, we are. Because I don't want to spoil it for Nasuth.
The feelings, man.
I appreciate
the feelings, right?
Feelings, man.
These 2 episodes were fucking phenomenal because the majority of the time,
I don't know if they will have the same weight for someone who watches it all the way through, because you can go from one to the next.
I suppose.
This was a great show to watch as it came out, because you were hungry for the next episode, and you would spend that week reflecting on it and waiting and expecting what's going to come next week. If I'm able just to go straight into the next episode, I don't think it's going to be quite as impactful, because this is a show I would almost watch like one a night sort of thing. Be the best way of watching it, because you want to reflect on what you've seen, maybe watch a few bits again, and then process what you think is going to come, and then take next episode and go, oh yeah, I expected this and this happened, I expected that and that happened, wow, that's really surprising, but that happened just like this bit happened like I thought, but this thing was surprising, and you get more from that. But I think just playing like one after the other, I don't think you really feel the weight and from the lack of reflection that we obviously had, because it did hit us big, but we were like, oh, what's this going to mean? What could happen? Oh man, this character was like this, and this character was ooh, and that character was damn awesome, that sort of stuff.
Right. I think we've covered this. I kind of want to.
We could go about this forever. It's so good, just watch it.
I kind of want to touch upon some of the reviews, but like, geez, these reviews are absolutely monolithic. There's one I'm going to read. And when it comes to the story, either the story is 10 out of 10 or it's like 0 out of 10, right? And so here's one where the story's not like this. This person has completely lambasted it. This entire anime is just about a 30-year-old guy with the maturity of a teenager finally growing up. It is the only explanation for why it is so slow. He was a fat, worthless slob after being horribly abused. And this anime is him working through his trauma and finally growing up. This is also reflected in the anime's name. There is no reason for having so much self-reflection in anime. The story is worthless. Between all the plot holes...
There's things which are not explained, I assume, yet.
No, that's not what a plot hole, though. No, a plot hole is when something happens.
Yeah, something happens and it's not explained, and it's like, but and it's clear we're never going to get explanation of why.
Well, no, it's like, they go through the right path, and then that stuff that was supposed to be in the left path happens. I'm like, wait a second, I thought they went down the right path.
Yeah, or like a character has been captured, and then like two scenes later, that character just joins in. It's like.
Yeah.
Aren't we going to address why that character was captured?
Yeah.
In prison? It's fine.
The story is worthless. Between all the plot holes, episodes that repeat, and episode filler, the story is just garbage. While the world creation is good, it is vastly overshadowed by all the negatives. I am... Whoa, you...
Wow. They don't like character studies, obviously.
Well, apparently they don't like characters.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, this show, it just continues to impress. After a really strong first season, the second season maintains that really high level of consistency. The thing I love the most about this show is the world building, with the character development coming in as a close second. It's a joy to see what kind of approach our heroes take in dealing with their conflicts, since every conflict is handled in its own unique way. The characters can be extremely goofy, but can be serious when they need to be. Everything in this show has a personality, and like that's just the first paragraph of their mini paragraph thing. They gave the story a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I completely agree. Everything does have a personality.
Holes.
Huh? There are no plot holes.
There's only things which I don't think have been explained yet. Like in season one.
Plot hole.
Yeah, I know. In season one, there's like that floating continent, and it's like, and there's named characters. Like, who are these characters, and what are they named? And I think it's
isn't that where one of the
something?
Isn't that one where one of the super people are?
Yeah, something like that, and it's like, that's just not explained yet. That's not a plot hole. That's just something that occurs in this world of wonder and mystery and magic that our character goes, wow, that's amazing. And it's like, but it's not related to his plot. I assume Chekhov's gun, it's going to come in at some point, but it doesn't need to be explained right now. He's still lying on the ground. He's still a kid growing up. It's not a plot hole that we don't go, oh, right, now we're going to explain all that stuff. No, that's not a plot hole. The only thing I'm thinking of that I can think of is girl on screen,
Roxy.
Roxy's journey to get here. We don't know that.
That's not really a plot hole.
I know. It's obviously she's a really capable mage, but like,
we don't know her backstory.
We don't need to know her backstory to see her be his tutor.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think of anything that could possibly do, and that's the only one that I could think of that just doesn't, like, she's a small character, she looks like a kid, she seems to be fine by herself. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's clearly not a safe world out there. So, how did she learn to get magic, that kind of stuff, and she seems to be fine with it, and that is the only thing I can think of. Everything else, I'm like, that was explained, I could explain that, I could justify that from this point, or this point made from a person. I that's the only thing I could think of that could be a plot hole. Yeah.
Right. Should we move on to... Yeah. That was your...
What have we got left?
Komi and whatever. Okay. Can we do Komi last, please?
Oh, fine.
I don't think Shikizakura deserves to be last. Okay.
Really? I really enjoyed Shikizakura.
I haven't finished it.
I want Komi last. All three of us have watched Komi last. There we go.
Okay, fine. So despite the art style, which is incredibly annoying when it's the normal characters being done as CG, it's even more annoying because it's inconsistent. There are episodes where they don't do that at all, and then there are episodes where they do. And I think it's any episode where they have the power suits is going to be an episode where they have to where they computer generate the characters because they want that consistent art style between the two. But it's dumb. They should have just hand animated all of it. They should have just it shouldn't have.
I don't mind the power suits. Like,
yes,
I think
the power
that's
suits
fine.
look good, but then you have the inconsistencies where if you have a normal character on the screen at the same time as a power suit, you would have this horrible artistic clash.
But you wouldn't if it was just the power suits of the enemies, because it is just like that element.
But do you know
effect for that thing?
Sorry to completely derail this, Nasuth. Yeah. I'm really sorry. You know the one series that does CG and 2D super duper well.
What?
And this was, this is a few years. Goblin Slayer, right?
Really?
Yes, because they only do Goblin Slayer in full 3D when it's not a bust shot. Right? When you don't have a close-up or a still of Goblin Slayer, it is 3D, right? But as soon as it's like Goblin Slayer's talking, nope, 2D hand that, right? Oh, Goblin Slayer's sitting down, 2D hand that, right? Goblin Slayer's walking around checking the bushes and the fence and shit, 3D animate that. Right? It's so, like, it's noticeable, but it's not glaring in the face.
Right, I get you.
I think it would have been fine if they just did the mech suits entirely in 3D the whole time. And I accept that this is going to be the future, and this is getting better and better as it goes. I still don't think it's there yet. Like some of the way the motion, it's so hard to do the motion right, and it does feel a bit alien. And that's why I'm fine for the suit.
I feel by the end they got better with that, but in the beginning it's real rough.
It is. It does feel a bit janky, but they get better as time goes on. There's more things go on. I think maybe just time and budget were allocated probably more towards the end as well. But I haven't finished it. I think I'm on episode like 8 or 9 or something. But it's just that the people should be done, and it just feels better.
Yeah.
At some point, the computer-generated people will look as good as somebody can do a hand-animated person. You won't even be able to tell the difference. We're not there yet. We are getting. It's so much better. Do you remember? When we were all kids, do you remember what CG used to look?
Oh yeah.
Do you guys,
remember Reboot?
Reboot. I was gonna go for Reboot. Yeah, Reboot. I mean, come on, Uncanny Valley.
Or Beast Wars, or
Oh, Beastars. Well, I mean, this is good, but at the same time, you look at this scene here, for instance, and it's like, it is getting close.
It looks good in a still shot. It looks terrible when it's moving.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Right, it looks okay. For the actual...
Oh, but come on, that does not... If I took that still, and I took a still from Fruit of Evolution, this one looks better.
Okay, I'm not going to deny that, right? But Fruit of Evolution looks like ass.
I know, but that's what I mean. It's not there yet that this is
shadows the shadows are kind of weird.
That's it. It's like the fact that there's no shading on the fringe or anything like that. Like, that is the weak point for that still that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Right? I could still instantly tell you that was CG.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that's part of the problem with the show, that we're having to debate about the CG on the characters, not actually talking about the show itself.
If you can get past that, the show is actually pretty good. It by the end, everything's explained, which is a plus. I don't think there actually could be a season 2 for this, honestly, because the way it ends, that world is closed off forever, or seemingly forever. But
you could have a different world.
maybe. But I mean, they explain where Ibarra came from. They explain how the demons are coming here. They explain what the temple priestesses are supposed to do. Temple priestesses, whatever they are, the priestesses that seal away the evil. Yeah. They reveal who the big bad guy is, and it's not somebody you would have expected, and there's so much good in this. The character growth when they get over their so all of them are tempted in some way or another, and they all have to get past that, which plays into the end. And there's these little character moments like this one where our main character and his friend are thinking about the past, and when they decided to go down this path of being a hero. That's the main theme through the whole thing, is what does it mean to be a hero? And it's just I really enjoyed it. I'm almost sad that there probably won't be a second season, but at the same time, I think it's better to have a single season where you tell a solid story than try to stretch it out forever. So I think that's actually a really good thing.
Yeah, I would say the first 2 episodes feel a bit weak. It's trying to set things up, and you don't have that.
You find out why he didn't die 8 years or 10 years ago or whatever it was. Cool. Everything is actually explained in this, which is rare for a lot of shows.
I did feel it gets better. The longer you watch this, the better it is. The first 2 episodes just feel a bit anemic, I feel, because it's trying to introduce everything. But then as time goes on and we move on and we don't need to explain this, we don't explain that, it does just get into more depth the longer you go, which I felt was good. I need to finish it. I'm 4 episodes off the end, though.
Very, very highly recommend. I'd give it a 9 or 10, honestly.
That's what I'd say.
Really. Aside from the art style, which is, a 3 or 4 when it's CG.
Okay. So first off, how's the animation? Right, ignoring the art style. So one of the big problems with a lot of CG anime is that the animation can be often all over the place.
Oh, it's pretty consistent. Other than getting smoother the further you go into it, because it seems like they've got a better handle on doing the models. But the fight scenes are always good from the very beginning. Those are top notch.
What about the sound?
Sound is great.
The music, we got the audio, sound effects and things like that. But what about things like the music? Is the music the same repeated crap over and over again, or do they actually give it some variety?
I'd say that honestly, I don't remember the music that well. I mostly focused on the story, but I'm pretty sure there's some variety in there. I don't think they just use the same music every time there's an Oni battle.
Okay, and then you feel that the story is the 9 or 10 out of 10, or
yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think I have to give this one a go.
I just want to point out the first 3 episodes feel like it looks and feels like
it's introducing you into this world, but yeah,
but they really did the first episode. Just I don't know what it is. It focuses on our main character, and he's isolated again. He's running around, and oh my god, he's in a suit or whatever. And there's a few enemies on, and the shots also feel really cheap. You don't see like a horde of enemies. It just seems to show you two. It's like I thought at the start, like, oh my god, this is the last.
Well, there is actually a reason for that. Why there's only a couple of them, but.
No, but at the same time, the way they show it, it doesn't feel like there's a reason for it. The shots are all quite close in that museum.
It feels a little contrived for getting him down to where the power suit is.
No. I mean that the style of cinematography they've got. It's all shots which are they should have showed long panel shots showing the whole room with multiple power suits and a few Oni. Instead, the first episode I felt was quite. Just showing one or two things at a time, which is a very easy way to just animate that thing.
I got you. Okay.
In the first episode. So, but by the time they think you're hitting like 3, 4, 5, like when like you said that bit when they'd be about heroes and things, and that character comes into his own and the relationship there, and they do the thing with the kids, that episode as well. You've got more depth, you've got things, it's interesting, and then the fights are better. And like you have the fight on the bridge, which is you've got flying things, you've got things on the bridge. We see some long shots. They clearly put more time in there for that. And then when these people turn up and we see these people,
yep. It all starts kicking off when they show up. It's so.
Yeah. Oh. So I just want to say is you're gonna have to get to like episode 4. At least get past first 2 episodes. Except that for episode 1, in my opinion, was very rubbish. It felt really cheap. But it gets money just goes. So
yeah, I'm glad I stuck with it. Honestly.
There you go. Right, let's move on. Let's finish up.
It's very power suit. If you know about like.
He's talking to Guyver Man.
Yeah, he's talking to Guyver Man.
Yeah, talking to Guyver Man. Yeah, man. He's gonna love that part of it.
I mean, if you watch Power Rangers or what's that other one? Not Kamen Rider. Is it Kamen Rider? Yeah.
Kamen Rider.
Then you'll like this.
Right. Beetleborgs.
Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Oh, what was the one about them going to cyberspace? The Cyber Warrior ones. Oh my god.
Yeah, Troopers.
No, it's another one.
With the Aryans, but it's not spelled the same way.
Anyway, let's move to Komi while
Right. Komi can't communicate. So Loz is a diehard fan of this. And he doesn't get to do the review for this.
Hasn't he read the entire manga series so far?
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually started reading the manga, and I couldn't get into the art style of the first volume. I'm glad.
Are you watching the one shot, or
what?
There's a one shot first, if you're watching it, or did you start on the manga?
No. What? No, I'm reading the manga.
Yes, but there was a one shot first.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I started on. Yeah, no, but I think I'm just starting the manga.
Oh, okay,
it's beat for beat of happening in the anime.
Right. Oh, then you're watching. Okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah. So I much prefer the style of what they've done in the anime compared to what was in the manga. Much like I prefer the style of the original 3 seasons of High School Double D compared to the 4th season, I much prefer the art style of what they've done in the anime. Animation is phenomenal in this series. It is so well done, especially the first episode, because we sat there and we analyzed out of that. The intro music is, as the kids say, a banger. I absolutely loved it. The character designs, brilliant. The plot points, for the most part, I enjoyed the plot. There were elements where I felt that can we not repeat the same episode structure? And they didn't. They did change it into more overarching stuff, which I did enjoy. And I'm also glad that they didn't just constantly tell the same joke over and over again. Right? You actually saw Komi as she was trying to get over her anxiety, her inability to socialize. And she was properly trying. She wasn't making the same mistakes. It's oh, quick, give this person a pie. Person is prone for tripping over, splats their face in the pie. Oh, let's give them another pie. Again,
I suppose in this one it'd be that they do it a few times when she tries to talk and she just gets the first syllable out and she just repeats, gets stuck on it. Like if every episode that joke,
Exactly, but they don't do that, right? And again, what was the name of the damn thing? The instances where she will talk if she's not facing the person face to face, which I thought again was a lovely touch, right? I really enjoyed this series. I don't think it is spot on perfect, but it is also a slice of life, which is a very difficult genre really to stand out in, right? I liked the majority of the characters. The one character especially felt like, nope, couldn't deal with this. I couldn't let this go, which is the psycho stalker girl.
Yes, they should have just called the police.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not become her friend.
Sorry, I'm slapping the spoilers on. Hopefully sometime. Yeah, okay. So effectively, I can't remember, it's quite early on in the series, but Tadano, our male protagonist, ends up getting kidnapped by Psycho Stalker chick. And I can't...
Is it Yandere?
Yandere. Yandere. Yeah,
right,
No, but I don't think she is a yandere because she's not... she doesn't do it again, right? She doesn't incite violence or threaten bodily harm on someone else.
No,
because...
she kind of does. Remember when Komi trips at the pool and they say that she stabbed the ground?
Yeah, no, it wasn't just her. It was like... It wasn't just her, though. It was like a group of them.
Yeah, it was the Komi Imperial Guard.
And what? There's like 4 of them.
Well, yeah,
yeah, but she specifically stabbed the ground.
Oh
I think it's a file. No, she has a file. They're gonna go and file off.
Anyway, the whole point is that she kidnaps Tadano. No one knows where the fuck he is, and then I think. Does she invite Komi over to her place, or does Komi ask to go to her? I can't remember what happens, which way it goes.
I think Najimi invites Komi over to that place or something like that.
Right, so that's what happens, and then they discover Tadano tied up in the girl's cupboard, right, in her walk-in closet, right? And it's like, and there she is. She's got like. Is it a pair of scissors or a box cutter? Or I know that it's different between the manga and the.
It's chopsticks.
Chopsticks. Okay.
It's a knife. In the
manga. Yeah. So like it's she is there like with effectively a weapon. It's just like police time now. Okay, thanks. It just like no, this is not okay. But. I let that one go, right? But honestly, I did enjoy the series, and the great news is it's getting a second part, or a second season. This one is actually getting a second season, in the spring of 2022. And he said 2021.
I mean, I really hope this gets more seasons, because it really has to get into their second year. I think you would really like that more, because it does a lot more with a few more characters come in. They shake up which characters are in the classroom, so that makes all the characters that she knows be a bit more distant. They can come in, but they're not part of that. I think it's this thing in Japan where they shuffle all the kids between years. Apparently, I don't know if this school does it. And so we get some new characters. It's an excuse to bring in new characters, but we know the old characters, so they can sort of be there at a distance or be there for events and things. But then we also get some more key characters coming, and then we have a bigger arc for year 2, which is more interesting.
Again, another point is that they don't force all the characters into every scenario, right? And they are constantly expanding the
friendship circle
roster.
The roster, thank you very much, Loz. Yeah, the roster of characters, because
But it also doesn't feel crowded per se.
Yeah, because they don't use every character for every episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or every short. Like, my biggest... One of the biggest things that I disliked about Jahi was the fact that they introduced like 3 or 4 characters in the opening intro screen. You know, there was always these extra characters, and they never appeared in the fucking show.
Wow.
I think we watched 8 episodes of that. I'm sure of it, and like, you know, it was honestly like Jahi was just. I'm so glad with what we've got with Komi, and I can only hope that, you know, that there is much more to come.
I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't usually go in for slice of life anime because I want big juicy plot. But this one is just so good. I'm probably watching it with you two helps a lot too because they've got you know, company. But it's really good.
And for fuck's sake, right? Netflix, sort out your fucking subtitles. We want to be able to read what is in Japanese as well as hear what is said. Read what is said. Like, come the fuck on.
It really annoys me when the fan ones, which are technically illegal, are better than a company that makes one of the most crazy amounts of money, where all they have to do is hire a translator and then stick the words on the screen. Though I think we worked out, wasn't it, that they only have one channel.
One sub. Yeah, they only have one sub. Just add in more.
Like,
if it has to be a block of text, just make it a block of text. People want to read it. You know, if you.
Oh, so difficult. Add in a second fucking channel. Oh my god. I mean, fucking, if MKVs and MP4s and all that shit can do multiple fucking...
Or fan edits had this thing, like, this quality 15 years ago. You know, you get, you know, back in the days where you'd also get, like, the bits that... you've seen the Pro ZD joke one for it?
Probably.
Where they leave in some of the words where it would be like senpai, and then at the top it'll explain what senpai means.
Yeah, but it's like a whole page of text.
You are my nakame, and it comes up what nakame is. Instead of just you are my friend. You know? But you know, so 15 years ago, fandoms were doing a better job with this than Netflix, which is just so sad for anyone who wants to watch the technical official release of it. But yeah. I mean, so now there's one thing I was going to say is it's interesting to say a slice of life. So I remember bringing a point up to you quite recently. Would Kobayashi's Dragon Maid work as well if you took out the dragon element of it? Because in theory, it's just a group of people learning to live as a family together, kind of. And so, you know, you'd have to come up with other things to do, but you need that dragon element. But I feel that gives them the opportunity to get into fun hijinks situations. Whereas if you do take it away, that's what you get. This is what Komi is. You know, there is no that magical sub element to play with concepts and things.
I said to you at the time, like, you can get rid of the dragons, but you have to keep the fish out of water.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's, you know, this is what Komi is. Komi is the fish that is always out of water. Right? Yeah. She's always trying to adapt to these different situations. And yeah, it's great.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. By the way, the other show that I was trying to remember was the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Oh god.
Oh, okay. Because I have any idea what that is.
What's the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad?
I know if I ask anything else, he's just going to repeat it again, and he may just do that anyway.
I think the one I was thinking of was called Photon.
Superhuman? You tell me you've never watched the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to repress my childhood. Let's go with that.
I'll show you some pictures later.
Anyway, so do you guys have anything you want to add to Komi?
Gosh. It's the other reason I wanted to use this, not me, is that obviously I just think the show's amazing. But then, I do actually want to say that I'm shocked at how faithful this is to the manga. This show is going almost at a full snail's pace. They've cut very little. They have cut, I think, one fuel, like a couple of the episodes, just for a thing, and it really was just there actually was, as Zeno was saying, actually repeat on a kind of repeat of a gag where they go to another, they go to a restaurant, and we had that, and they do the same thing again, but then they kind of add a little element to it of one of the characters being a reviewer, and the people get mixed up who they think the reviewer is. That's the only thing, and maybe a few little touches here and there. the only thing's been cut. This is so faithful. It's literally just going through the entire manga piece by piece. A little bit out of order for a few bits, but it's just going through. So this is why I feel it's going to take forever to get to year 2, which is actually the bigger arc for this show, which is going to be more interesting. The live action, for instance, just basically chops all that out and just almost starts at year 2. So
wow.
Yeah. I literally do not want to judge you by saying the names of the characters who are going to come in, even in the second half of this first year, let alone the characters I want to really get to for season 2. But they just bring them straight in the live action version. I think it's only about 8 episodes long or something, and it just goes through them. But yeah, so God, I really hope this gets more, because I think you guys will really like year 2, but we've got to get there first. We've got the second half of year 1 to get through. So I don't know. We'll see next year. No, this year.
Yeah, looking at the reviews for this, I just realized this was the other one I wanted to talk about. So there's only one that I'm really going to touch upon because it's short. I think this series would be great if they didn't worship their classmate just because she's quiet and pretty, I guess. But really, their reasons are outlandish. But the real problem I had was the severity. These people would throw themselves into a puddle and ask her to step on them, probably not even with the pretext of helping her over the puddle, right?
There's only one character that would do that, I think.
No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the majority of them would. But that's the whole point. If you watch the end of the first episode past the credits, right, it shows you that the whole school is fucking eccentric as hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I missed that on the first viewing, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they are all off their rocker, right?
Which is what makes Tadano so special, is that he's so normal. He's just the most normal character ever.
Yeah, you got like Komi's rival, who is like, no one knows who the fuck she is, but she keeps on calling herself Komi's rival.
Hey, she has a fan club.
Does she?
Yeah, in the episode with they're trying to decide what to do. It's one that I think either 11 or 12 or 10.
Yeah,
they're trying to decide what to do for the cultural festival, and they're all coming to different people. She says something where we can compete, and she's looking rather serious. And it cuts to 3 people coming on the side.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god! And then you see Tadano going, "Wow, she has a fan club."
Right.
So that everyone is weird in this school. Yeah.
Everyone. Apart from Tadano, he's the most average person.
But you make a good point about that. Yeah, you just kind of accept it. It's just like it is a bit to the extreme, as in she's just a pretty girl apparently.
But it's played for laughs. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's the whole point is, it's like, she's got the social. It's not the weird kid that has the social anxiety. It's the pretty girl, right?
Yeah.
It's breaking the norm, right? Normally the pretty girl has no issues like this whatsoever. So it's a nice change of pace that she's the one that's got the issues.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. I think we're coming to close.
We've spoken for so long.
I know, but there was lots to say.
There was lots to cover.
There was lots to cover.
There was lots to cover.
There was lots to cover. Right. Okay. So, what's next on the
community shoutouts?
It's supporter questions, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Supporter questions. I need to zoom in with my. Oh crap! I can't zoom in. What? Who invented this terrible software? So, curse. There we go. Right. So, as Rugel says, before I read out the supporter questions, I just want to thank you all for watching or listening this far to our podcast. The next episode should go live on Friday at roughly, time conversion is hard, so just subscribe to YouTube, so YouTube can tell you, right? It comes out at 8 p.m. GMT with UK time. It comes out at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central, and 12 Western. Pacific.
Pacific,
right? So that's when it comes out on Fridays. And yeah, so also this comes out on Friday the 7th. On Wednesday the 12th is the day that Monster Hunter Rise comes out. So if you're interested in Monster Hunter and things, I think there is a general yammering between us three and Yi about playing it on Nasuth's stream on Wednesday the 12th. Yeah, so there's general yammering about that. Yes, you have been yammered. I was meaning to talk to you about it, but I haven't had the chance.
That's twitch.tv/Nasuth.
Yep, which I think there's a link in the description below. Right, so Zrugel also says, is the light on your phone labeled as flashlight or a torch? Because it's labeled if it's labeled flashlight, then, checkmate Brits. What?
Is it labeled flashlight or torch? Because you call it a torch, we call it a flashlight.
Torch.
Is it really?
Yes.
Checkmate.
What?
Trying to find out. I don't know, Apple one, so I don't really know. Where's phone?
What is phone?
No, where's... Oh, iPhone. No, download health records to iPhone. No, I want to know the features of an iPhone. No, not health download.
Anyway. So, the Prophet of Zephyr says, last time's topic was Godzilla, and we learned a lot. Even Yi was impressed that there were aspects of the Godzilla universe yet to be explored. But there's a back to basics question for the cast. If you had to be against a giant monster in the Godzilla universe, which one... had to be a giant monster in the Godzilla universe, which one would you be?
Paul UK says how to use torch. So I'm going with torch.
There you go. Denied.
Torch. There you go.
Why?
What am I doing?
So if you could, it had to be a giant monster in the Godzilla universe, which one would you be?
Mechagodzilla, because it'd be a giant robot.
There you go. Loz wins.
I don't know if Gamera is in the Godzilla universe technically, but I'd want to be Gamera because giant spinning jet turtle, Yeah, and he's friend to children. Gamera is friend to children.
I don't know them well enough.
I think technically he is. Nasuth.
I mean, he is a kaiju, so...
Yeah.
Wait, which was the one that you was telling us about that had chainsaws for arms?
Destroyer?
No,
Destroyer.
No. The one that was the alien one that came from space that had a giant Cyclops eye. Cyclops, the X-Men.
It's
whatever that one.
Gigan.
There you go, that one.
Gigan.
Chainsaws. You can't go wrong with chainsaws.
Gigan.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. The Prophet of Zephyr also says, at the end of the autumn season, we have to look forward to the start of the winter and spring seasons. So after rounding up all of the shows you've seen and enjoyed, the question has to be asked, what comes next? Are you looking forward to seeing an isekai where someone from a fantasy world is reincarnated in a different fantasy world? What about the one where two friends are reincarnated, but one of them becomes a hot girl? Are we tired of these and just want to see some action-packed sci-fi or fantasy? What kind of shows are you looking for next? Looking forward to next. So there was one there's a couple actually. So I'm quitting heroing, which was one that Thaylien brought to my attention. I think that's coming out spring, where basically the main protagonist he's supposed to be the hero that defeats the Demon Lord, except for he joins the Demon Lord's army instead.
Really?
Yeah. So there's that one.
Oh, there's Spy X Family, which looks pretty interesting.
Yes, I've started reading that.
No, wait, isn't that spring?
Spring. Yeah, but he said winter and spring.
Oh, winter, spring. Oh god, Shield Hero season 2.
There's Shield Hero season 2.
What we really need though is a isekai where a fantasy hero dies and is reincarnated into our world as an office worker.
You say that, I feel it's maybe a thing already.
Oh god. Of course.
No, I just feel like that just doesn't feel crazy enough not to be a thing.
Yeah.
Also the last season of Attack on Titan, the last part of season 4 of Attack on Titan, so I can actually fucking watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
There's also World's End Harem. Huh?
Spy X Family you were talking about.
Yeah. I really want to. So I've been reading that, and
yeah, you
fucking undersold the shit out of that, man. It was so good, the manga. Like you should have been like, no, Xeno. Read this. Just read this.
I did. A year ago, I told you about Spy X Family.
Fucking website, and I was scrolling through the website, and I was like, yeah, there's some pages on here, and it's like, no, what you should have done. You should have downloaded it to my tablet.
I should have downloaded it to your tablet.
Yeah, you should have downloaded it to my tablet. You should learn better, Loz.
Made it a screensaver.
It's true. I did used to break into your house and hide money in your manga. I mean, that's what I used to do. And be like, oh, I owe you money. Reach for the 3rd episode of Bleach or something on your wall or wherever you had.
There's nothing in there.
It's like...
Oh, try this one instead.
Try that one instead. Oh, look, there's some money. There we go. I'll pay you off.
Yeah.
No, Spy X Family. The animation also. We've only had a couple of trailers. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I just like, wow. I mean, just, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my big one for next year, Bong, with more Komi and more Shield Hero. Yeah.
Shield Hero.
For the new season, in the next 2 seasons, the show that's new that I'm looking forward to is definitely Spy X Family, because it's just so funny, so wholesome, and looks beautifully animated. I mean, if we get some cool music and good audio to go with that, I'd be like, wow, it's like it could be noir, but it's going to be so funny.
I'm also looking forward to the second part of Vanitas as well, which is coming out in a few days.
I think I finished the first season, actually, but it was really good. I was really enjoying it.
Right, okay, so is that it for... Yes, so that's it for...
Memes.
No, we got some comments.
Wait, you got some comments? Oh, I suppose. Right, so Zrugel, the memes ye brought didn't make it into the description. Not sure if if you have those since she found... Yeah, unfortunately, it was just the images that were linked to us. Nick Evans, I'm genuinely laughing about having introduced an expert on Godzilla to Godzilla Discovers America story. Please do have fun with it. So that was the comic story, if memory serves.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't looked at it, but it did sound hilarious.
Yep. And then again, Zrugel again. Hope all of you are doing well and having a great time on your holidays. Well, it's the end of the holidays, and Loz and I have to record many, many hours of footage tomorrow.
But did you enjoy your holiday?
Have a lovely holiday, though. Yeah.
It was a good holiday.
Over too quickly, though. I mean, I only had I didn't come home till 20. I only had one. One.
You had about a week off, didn't you? Yeah, a little less than a week.
9 days.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
A week. Yeah,
but it was nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully, I'll have more in the future. More free time as well.
Right. Memes. Right. So Nasuth, you control.
Oh, right. I need to make this big so you can actually see it. Several of them, mine are all New Year's related because, of course, Earth makes one full revolution around the sun. Humans celebrating.
Oh.
Meme number 2. Anime fans on New Year's Eve be like, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10 kilometers running every single day. Anime fans
never
New Year's Day be like, oh yeah, never use air conditioner.
Or no matter how hot or cold.
Yep.
Anime fans on New Year's Day be like...
Yep. And finally, studio making a CGI version of Betty White. Stan Lee, you get used to it.
Ah!
He...
She died yesterday. Or,
a couple of days ago.
31st. Yeah.
Oh.
Very sad.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to move on to my ones. My ones are weirder. So, Satan, according to Christians. Satan, according to masochistic weebs. I think that's one of the sisters from Quintessential Quintuplets, but I'm not entirely sure.
Oh my god.
Yep. My second one. Weebs who use Crunchyroll Premium, face it, you're never gonna get any of my power. Weebs who pirate anime, do I look like I need your power?
Oh, so that's the Knuckles movie that's coming out soon, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got a cameo of Sonic in it. And then before JoJo...
Oh my
god! I'm sorry, I saw this and I fucking had to. I couldn't not.
Oh my god! That wins.
Yep. I had to. I saw that. I was like, yep, had to be done. Right, so that's it for this episode. Next week's episode, it's what's called the episode is It's a Gundam, and we'll have Joey Zero in it.
Sweet.
So Loz, you have a chance now. You can watch Reconquista. Or don't. I mean, either way.
I could not, yeah.
Right, so that is it for...
So we're going to go over the Zaku 2 development history and all variants, commander versions, and sniper variants, right? That's what we're going to be talking about next week.
He wanted me to call you earlier so you could name his custom build of a Zaku. And I'm like, it's his last day with his folks, man. Let's not call it.
I doubt I could, by the way, because it is. There's so many. You have no idea how many. It's like, what you have to do is you have to look at the backpack, plus the pipes, plus the armor plating on the legs, and then what's on the left shoulders, spikes and left. Like, yes, that's the Command J type that was only used, but it was supposed to be a mass production type, but was only 17 made, and it was used for the snipers, and then only the commanders or something at the Battle of Abaoku, and then they ran out. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I feel next week we might not be doing much.
You're gonna be like, yes. Mech. That's a mech.
I've seen that mech.
It has legs and a gun.
That's a Gundam! No, Drew, that's a
that's actually a mass-produced GM. It looks like a Gundam, but actually it's the GM mass-production ground type. Only seen it in the background of the anime and one shot of Zeta, but that was probably actually a misprint because only 3 were made. But